The intro is the same.
One.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sandbox Game live stream for Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. My name is Joseph the Vision X Matting, and alongside me, through the magic of the internet, is the Pillar of Eternity, the man who keeps it all together, Alex Florez. How you doing today, Alex?
I am doing great, Joseph. It is awesome today. People don't even know. They don't even know.
They don't know,
They,
and I'm
they
super
have
excited.
no
I mean,
idea.
obviously they have some idea now because, hi, how are you, everyone? How's everyone doing? It's been a minute. It's been a long time. It's been forever. But each and every Saturday, right here on YouTube.com, Twitch.tv, Theta D Live, Facebook, and Twitter.com/The Sandbox Game, we teach you the skills you need to know in the Sandbox Game Maker. But not today. Today's a very special day where we're expanding the lore of the metaverse here with you. Just one more step. That's right, we've got something very special planned, and I am happy to be here with Alex to announce it here today. If you're watching live with us today, you have a special opportunity during this stream. Feel free to ask us anything from questions about the Game Maker, maybe our asset creation software, VoxEdit, or anything else that you want to know about the Sandbox. We'll answer these questions live as they come in, and for those questions that we cannot answer live, feel free to click on the wonderful social channels in the description below this video and tag us after the show on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, or any of our other great platforms, and we'll get an answer out for you. Of course, if you're watching later over on YouTube.com, you may want to join us each and every Saturday morning starting at 1800 UTC. It's morning here in the US, but it's afternoon and evening everywhere in the world. That's right. Those watching live have a unique opportunity to win a Wizzy the Blue NFT right here on this stream. But we'll have more details on that later, so stick with us. For now, let's get started with our very special event. Kicking it off, Alex, what's going on today?
Just the birth of a new Wizzy.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah. and we've got exciting stuff all around this. It's Halloween's coming up. It's well, not everybody's favorite holiday, but it's a pretty popular holiday. And
it's fairly popular.
let's rewind it back. I mean, I know what I just said, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I promise. We'll get there. But we're gonna roll it back a little bit, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff that's going on. So, in case you haven't been paying attention, we have the Creator Fund's Halloween collection going on, and there is a lot of fun stuff going on there. Ooh, what just happened, Medium? What you doing? Okay, it disappeared and then it came back. Medium was pulling it's doing a little magic trick there. That's what it's doing. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna share this link in the chat. For those of you who have not already participated, there are some items that have sold out. So pay attention, and maybe you'll be able to grab some. So we have got the Marketplace collection for Halloween. There's a bunch of cool stuff in here. Jack-o'-lantern Dino is sold out. It says Mr. Pumpkinhead is sold out, but we're gonna clarify that in a second because it's not really sold out. What else is Killer Teddy is sold out. The Plague Doctor has sold out. Skullman has sold out. Yeah. So and the Undeads. Congratulations to Panda Pops for the Undeads getting auctioned off. I believe it was for, I want to say 1,500 sand. We can check on that in a minute.
4,044 sand, Alex, was the final sale price. Yes, Clank Kirsch is the owner in the chat right now.
Yeah. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. There's so much exciting news going on that I have to tell you that you don't know. There's even news that I don't know. Wow. Congrats to
Alex.
Panda Pops.
There's a secret happening in my hand right now.
Oh. Orange soda?
I mean, it's orange. It's orange. That's fair. Continue. I made my drink color coordinate with our plans today, Alex. Halloween.
Is it pumpkin?
No, actually, it's not. It's this weird brand called Body Armor. This is called Orange Frenzy, whatever that means. It has caffeine. It's got electrolytes.
Okay.
It's got vitamins, and just it's a lot healthier than the Red Bulls I was drinking. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
It's not soda.
Doesn't give you the wings. Okay, so yeah. Sold for 4,044 sand. Clankers, yes. You monster.
It's a legendary piece.
It is. It's a one of one.
People that you see every day on these live streams.
That's right. I didn't even realize Joseph is in this.
Yeah.
Are you the one playing the triangle?
I'm playing the triangle
with a foot
on request. Yes,
with a human leg.
Yes. Yeah, with a human leg.
Apparently, Clankers wants Panda to buy 4 lands.
Oh.
We'll see what kind of cool stuff Panda will do with that. So, wow. Amazing. Okay. So that's great. The time that the sale ended, I think I went to bed before it happened, and then I was like, of course it's sold, because I put a bid on it that would have gone over it, and the people outbid me. So I was like, of course it's gonna sell. It was outside of my price range by that point, and then I was like, it'll happen. I'm happy for Panda, and I did not even realize how much the bidding war went up. So wow. Okay, so that sold out. So because that sold out, we've actually we've updated the collection listing, because originally we had this buy now button set to go to the OpenSea link for that auction, but we realized that the gas fees were too high for Alina's awesome Mr. Pumpkinhead armor set. The gas was too high. So it says these are sold out. What has actually happened is that we have delisted from the Sandbox Marketplace and bundled it on OpenSea as a single thing that you can buy. And it is now the buy now button on the collection. So if you click that, you're going to go here. The bundle is not quite live for sale yet. Should be live in about 6 hours.
Okay.
Clanker says it was the longest repetitive 10 minutes he's ever experienced. I can believe that. I've sat on a hot auction before, and sometimes I don't think, I'm not sure if it's the case with the sand auction, but I know with like wrapped ETH auctions, it extends the end time for the auction every time you bid higher. So you're like, you want to snipe in a bid, but whenever you snipe in a bid, it increases the time so somebody else can get right in there, and oh boy, it can make you a little sweaty. So so in about 6 hours, I think it says 8 p.m. for me. It's a little bit after 2 for me. It's going to go up for sale for 0.0666 ETH, which is approximately the same price it was. It was about 350 sand before. Yeah, you got like a little hot spot on the color there.
I'll figure it out here in a sec. So folks, right before we started this live stream, Alex and I were going through some things. My lighting has changed since I last saw you. And I have an app. And I had a laugh about it, because we were like, oh yeah, the green screen's not really going green. And then I'm like, oh yeah, let me just change the color of my lights in my house. Like, why is that a thing, right? We're living in the future, folks. Okay, did that work? Did that fix it? Did it make it worse?
I don't know. I'm moving you to the side a little bit. There we go.
Did not fix it at all?
We'll just crop it. I think you're good enough.
That made it worse. All right.
Point your camera more towards your right side, I guess. and shift
We'll
yourself.
make it blue. If I made it blue, will that all go away?
You're turning blue.
Yeah, I know.
He was getting ready to join the
Violet,
undead
you
band
turned
there.
violet. All right, well, we'll forget about it. I
All
appreciate
right.
you guys.
So in about 6 hours, a little bit less than 6 hours, this sale should be going live. If my understanding of OpenSea bundles is correct, when this gets bought, it will still be a listed bundle until Alina runs out of quantity, until she runs out of stock on this.
Okay.
That's what I've seen happen before. I'm not 100% sure, so maybe this won't work. We're experimenting on the fly with this one. We're trying to make sure that people get a good value out of this. Now, there were, I think, 3 people, myself included, who bought this bundle, not the bundle, but bought these pieces individually.
Sure.
And the gas fee was more expensive than all the pieces combined. So, to compensate the people who bought a whole set not through the bundle, they will each be getting sent a Wizzy the Orange. Now,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
a Wizzy the Orange. Let's see. Does OpenSea show this yet? It doesn't show it yet. That's okay. We can go to the Sandbox Marketplace. Now, this is not the real Wizzy the Orange. The real Wizzy the Orange is going to be minted a little bit later. This is a one of one to be burned alive at the stake on Halloween. He's holding up his hands like, I'm innocent. I'm not a witch. I'm a wizard. So, yes, I'm stoked for Matic too. We'll get there. So, Wizzy the Orange, if you go to the Sandbox Game Maker and go to the featured experiences, you can go and see him live in the Spookville 2020 hub. Oh yes, Clankers, we're gonna burn this one. But from his death, 200 Wizzy the Oranges will spring up, and we've got some plans for them. So he's not going to be a normal stream giveaway Wizzy. Let's see how are all the ways that we're gonna give Wizzy the Orange away. We've got a couple competitions that I'm gonna mention in a little bit. A couple competitions running the next week. So there will be 6 Wizzy the Oranges given away Saturday next week as prizes for our competitions that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. We have got I think it's going to be 3 Wizzy the Oranges going to each of the people who bought the equipment set as pieces from the marketplace. And we are also giving away 1 Wizzy the Orange to each Wizzy the Blue holder Saturday next week. So Saturday next week, I will take a snapshot of who all owns a Wizzy the Blue, and that will be the list of people getting airdropped Wizzy the Orange.
And it's interesting that you put it that way, Alex, because I want to make a note to those people who are watching. This does not mean that you must have had to win a Wizzy the Blue in the past. Am I right?
Correct. It's whoever is holding a Wizzy. So people who did win in the past and have sold Wizzy the Blue and do not have a Wizzy the Blue right now, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have sold Wizzy the Blue.
And listen, you won just like last week, right?
Yes.
Or 3 days ago. So there it is.
So all Wizzy the Blues up to this point have been sent. If you know that you won Wizzy the Blue and you know what day you won it on, and for some reason you don't see it in your inventory, like maybe you missed our master sheet, message us and we'll figure it out in the next week. But you do need to be able to prove which stream you won it on. And I'll be able to check back through your Etherscan history if you sold off your Wizzy the Blue and it is somehow no longer in your inventory. So this is the beauty of the blockchain here. We are going to be giving all of these Wizzies away, and yeah, that will be pretty much the only opportunity you have to get Wizzy the Orange. So if you don't have a Wizzy the Blue right now and you're able to buy one before Saturday, you will get Wizzy the Orange. But that's you've got 1 week. Your notice is now.
Alex, I feel like whatever. So I'll fully admit to you right now, I listed my Wizzy the Blue, and now I feel like I need to delist this. Like, what does it cost to take this thing off the market?
How
Get
dare
out of here.
how dare you? Somebody go buy that real
Look,
fast right now.
I
Go
have a
go
gold
beat
one.
beat Joseph to
Oh,
getting
I
Wizzy
don't
the
have
Blue.
a golden one anymore. Oh no.
Well, the
Oh no.
well
I just have the
the
Santas that we're doing for the Christmas thing later this year. I have all those
well,
Santas.
we still do have a few more Wizzy the Blues. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Well,
Oh,
maybe Joseph will be able to get one if he doesn't have one already.
D-list. D-list. I need this. I
Yeah,
need this.
just have
I need
Wizzy the
this.
Blue. There's nothing to sign up for. You don't have to submit to a form.
Yep.
I will check all the current owners for Wizzy the Blue, and that'll be how you get them. All right.
Very good.
So not
I'm
this
super
one.
excited.
I minted this one specifically so people couldn't add it to their inventory. Because so there's more to Wizzy the Orange. We are currently working on something we call Avatar version 0. So as you know, you can build your avatar on the dashboard and mix and match 4 parts to make an avatar. What we're working on right now is called Avatar version 0, and it is a full body avatar that can be minted, bought, and sold, and you can play as it in a social hub or anything like that. We should be seeing that working in the next week or two, hopefully. That's the plan. So once we have the dashboard stuff set up, we'll be able to mint some avatars. We're working on what the content collection is for those avatars for just the initial run, and then we're gonna see a lot of avatar stuff happening, so people can play as characters, not just NFT bridge kind of stuff. It's gonna happen before the NFT bridge stuff, so we'll see some cool stuff there. But the way to make Avatar version 0 work, we're going to have that in place first. So that's going to happen before Wizzy the Orange gets minted. And Wizzy the Orange will be among one of the first avatars that you'll be able to pick as your avatar to play in a hub. Video's frozen. Everything looks okay to me.
I'm looking at it on 2 different computers, and it's looking all right.
Okay.
So,
not sure what's up with that. All right, so Wizzy the Orange.
Oh, that's pretty huge. Pretty huge, Alex.
We're collecting the list of who to send out next week on Saturday. Make sure you get your Wizzy the Blue if you don't have one, and it should be a playable avatar in hubs. Speaking of hubs, let's all hop into the Game Maker. Make sure you have version 0.6.12. And we're gonna check some stuff out related to hubs. So we wanna run some competitions.
All right.
And that's gonna be the 6 Wizzy the Blues, Wizzy the Oranges. Sorry.
Get the Wizzy the Orange right up front. Look at that.
Yeah. I did that That's why we went live a little bit late, because I had to get.
Yeah.
I had to get this going.
No spoilers, right? Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like less than 5 minutes before stream time, and then it didn't work on the first try, and I was panic hitting buttons like go. So so if you go to the drafts gallery, the new name for the gallery, and go to featured experiences from the tab on the, you can't see it because of the chat, but there's a button here on the left side underneath the chat. It says featured experiences. You'll see Boop Goop Hub is back up. It's going to be up for the rest of November. Becoming Mr. Pumpkinhead, the experience that I helped build, is up, and that's actually going to be a speed run competition. We are going to talk about that in a little bit. And then we've got Spooksville 2020. We can hop in there for a minute. I just got to say hi if anybody's around. The OJ Hub from last year. What's OJ? Orange juice?
I think it's kind of
Original
meant to be
juice.
like OG. Yeah,
The,
I think so, but it's
the,
okay.
the original juice.
The orange juice hub makes sense to me. We're having an orange time. It's an orange day. So I'm gonna tell you guys a fun thing. First of
Lucy.
all, I am very excited about this idea of the Wizzy to Orange. Alex messaged me a couple of days ago, and he's like, "Hey, I've been working on this thing, and I want to make this like announcement and do all these things." And we kind of bounced back and forth on some ideas for it. And I thought it would be interesting to test it. And Alex ended up agreeing with
Hey.
this. That test the idea that it's a reward for the Wizzy the Blue. And then depending on the results of kind of this reward and how people like receive it, and obviously a lot of people are going to be excited about Wizzy the Orange. They're always and have been excited about Wizzy the Blue. Then this may be an opportunity for us to show those community members who are trying to figure out how to bring value to their NFTs, like that this is a successful method, right? So you see this system used for companies like CyberKongs, I believe, does something like this. The Board Ape Yacht Club does something similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
That Bunker 2171 is doing something like this, and those are the folks who are in charge of the, what do you call them? Forgive me.
Airdrops.
Gons. No, they do mutant Kongs. They do
Oh yeah.
gorilla something, I forget.
Mutant
But
ape.
regardless,
Mutant
yeah,
apes.
yeah, yeah. Gorilla Nemesis was one of those too. Yeah, so those companies are kind of all starting to get into this idea that when you have an asset or you sell an asset, maybe there's a potential long-term like value to owning this asset. And a lot of those companies are reaching out to the Sandbox to become partners so that they can use their Sandbox hubs as value to add on to your original purchase. And so I think you guys could see this. If you were looking to sell NFTs, maybe you could say in the description, like, with the sale of this NFT, if we hit this target, we can build this thing, or we can do that sort of thing. So I think it's a great example, and we'll see how it works out for you guys when you have those Wizzy the Oranges. And Alex, can I talk about, without being descriptive, some other ideas that we have had, possibly, or that there are other ideas?
You mean
Can I
the
talk about that while I
the
just
thing
did?
that you want to work on?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
thing you
yeah.
told me about? Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. It's your thing. Do it.
All right, great. So, Alex, you already had a great image of it. I don't know if you want to share it in the chat, but the winner of the last game jam, if you guys didn't watch,
Oh,
one of the most unique things
I
that they
can't
had done.
I can't share it without messing up your webcam. So if you want to disappear for a second, I can hide you.
Okay, I have an idea. I can share it.
Okay.
I think I'll save the image here. Downloads, and I will share it into the chat. But anyway, so the idea here is to continue to bring value to the asset. We may, and this hasn't been fully fleshed out yet, but I'm thinking pets. What do you guys think? I'm thinking pets. Do you want to see a pet that could be, and I can't share it in anywhere but Twitch because I'm on that other PC, but do you want to see a pet that is, related to owning a, let's say, a Wizzy or another kind of asset? Do you think that's a good idea? And if you do think that's a good idea, why aren't you doing it right now? That's my plan here. So look at that. Lucas says, love that you guys are talking about this. My project Sandhelm will be airdropping Sandbox avatars to all of our NFT owners. And that's a great idea because once again, it gets to the value proposition. They may look at that and say like, hey, I paid for this, but also I get airdropped this. And so you could potentially take something that, let's say you were planning on selling it for 100 sand, 500 sand, something like that. But once you have a value
Joseph.
proposition where you say, yes.
You pasted an Etherscan link instead
Oh, I
of.
apologize.
I was like, what is this for?
I saved the image, but I didn't upload it. That Etherscan link is actually a reply to a user who earlier was in the chat and they had said they didn't receive their thing. But
I thought that was for the image.
No, I apologize.
Okay.
That would be hilarious. Let's go to imager.com and I'll upload it real quick.
All right. Okay. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's great. I'm glad that you did because at least now, I know that it needs to be redone. but yeah, I mean, you gotta have you can get value proposition, and that can increase your assets worth significantly. I think very quickly, where a lot of people will say, hey, I own this now. I have access to this space that is a game, and at the same time, I'll get airdropped another asset. There's a lot of different reasons to own it, and you step into the same kind of ecosystem that's kind of become popular all over the metaverses throughout. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share this idea here. Alex shared this image with me as a test because we were kind of working backwards and saying, like, if this was to become a thing, can you use it? And there are some other detail. Alex, are you breakdancing right above the Wizzy right now? Are you
Yeah,
just
I'm trying to get
breakdancing
everybody's
above the-
attention to go over there. Everybody's got to look up and find their way to the middle.
Oh, what's up? I'm making my way downtown right now. I'm walking fast. I forget how I get up there. Do you have to go through the maze to get up?
You have to go through the maze. That's the whole
Dun
point.
dun dun.
So
know
so
what it
this is one image, and I found we'll take a look at this because we're still jumping into the game maker. We're still gonna do tutorial stuff today. We've only got 30 minutes left. I don't know. I'm feeling like it's gonna be a long stream day. My kids are at a birthday party. Joseph's here.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna go
It's a party.
bonkers. So so we'll take a look at how this how you can make a pet work in your game. I'm not 100% sure how it was done in the Dr. Stitch or Professor Stitch game. I'm pretty sure one of the ways I know how to do it was used, but they work slightly differently from each other. And he only did it with one character, but I don't know. Joseph, did I shared with you what it looks like when I had like 50 of them following me, right?
Yes, you did. And it was beautiful. It was a masterpiece, honestly. And I think if we do that again here today and you show people that, they're going to be like, wow, that's a great idea. Because I looked at that and I thought of, like, if you were in like a really spooky setting, right? Like this environment that we're in right now, when you were like in the fog or whatever, and maybe you had a lot of different assets that were doing that thing in that particular aggression, it may just be like an omen to a thing to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of cool opportunities that you could use that. So I'd love to see if you could show that on the stream for sure.
All right.
That'll probably blow some minds.
All right. We'll show that in a little bit here. So yeah. So this hub is gonna be this hub will continue to be open now. I don't feel like there's any reason to close it. So people can jump in here anytime they want. We will for sure be partying here next Saturday, for announcing our winners for our competitions. So the competitions that we have going on, we've got 2 competitions happening in the Mr. Pumpkinhead game, becoming Mr. Pumpkinhead. One is a costume contest. Where's the maze? Touche says. Touche. The maze is there's a stairwell to the basement in all 8 houses. So if you go into any house, it'll drop you into the maze, and you can figure your way out to the middle. The only way that I know how to get up to the middle is through the maze.
That's true.
So
tried many different ways.
I tried many different ways when I was making it, and I made sure you could only go through the maze. We used to have trees all the way around, and this used to be shorter. And I was like, no, we gotta.
Just 2 minutes ago, really quick, Alex, Jazz Wolf asked, what's the latest version of the Game Maker again? And this one, I'll be honest with you, it kind of confused me because of the way that I'm familiar with versions, but it is 0.6.12 or 0.12.
0.12 is what we would call it, yeah.
Right. But it does look a little silly at first, because when I was looking at it, I was like, hey, I probably would have named as 0.1, 0.2 or something like that, you know what I mean? Or like 0.5, 0.9 or some nonsense to keep, But yes, it'll look like possibly if you've downloaded a bunch of Game Maker versions, like it's an older one, but just look at the date that you downloaded it and you'll have the latest version.
All right. So we've got quite a crowd coming in here now. This is beautiful. We got all sorts of people dancing up here.
Your bird noises got me, Alex. I heard the bird in the game, and I was like, "It's an emergency. I gotta go." Sound effects are just getting better and better.
Spooks. What does my hat say? It says, "I paused my game to be here," which is a lie. This is a raccoon brand hat. They old buddies of mine from Instagram. They sent this over to me. So anyway, the competitions that we have going on, we have got a costume contest and a speedrun competition. The costume contest is going to be to equip equipment from your wallet. So you need to own NFT equipment. So it makes it a little bit of an exclusive competition. You will have had to have bought equipment from our marketplace and equip it in the game maker when you get to the end, when you get to the dance floor in the Mr. Pumpkinhead game. Take a screenshot, send that to me. I made a hashtag for it. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. But there is going to be a video coming out later today. So pay attention to my Twitter and the Sandbox Twitter because they'll retweet it. All the details for the competition will be in that video. So lay it out very clearly. Joseph and I are going to give star ratings to the costumes that you put on.
Very good. Yep.
Either the Sandbox Marketplace or OpenSea. Anywhere you can buy Sandbox equipment. And you send it out on Twitter, tag me, and put a hashtag. You don't even have to tag me. I will check the hashtag because it's a pretty unique hashtag. I think it's like spooky sand or something like that. But just wait for the video. It will have the details. There's no rush on the costume competition because you have a whole week to just take a screenshot, and the game is only like 10 minutes long if you take your time. So no, you don't have to make anything in Vox Edit. You have to be able to equip the equipment in the game, which means it has to be in your wallet. It has to be an NFT that you own. So this is going to be for people who have successfully bought stuff. There's going to be the first, second, and third place winners, and they're each going to get a Wizzy the Orange next Saturday. Not hashtag my name. Just wait for the video. It'll have all the instructions clearly laid out. Wait for the video. Don't do anything before the video comes out. You have a whole week. Just wait for the video. I will send it out. The Sandbox will retweet it on Twitter with all the details of the costume competition. The other thing is going to be a speedrun competition for the Becoming Mr. Pumpkinhead game. So you want to get to that victory screen and have it show your time at the end as fast as possible. I have a feeling we will get maybe sub 1 minute times on this because I know that when I run through it quickly, it takes me less than 3 minutes. And that's not even trying to speed run it. That's just me going, I know what to do. I can get to the end really quickly. No thoughts of optimization or skipping areas. It's going to be any percent. You don't have to complete every quest. I mean, you kind of do to have to get through the game, but maybe somebody will find an exploit somewhere. I welcome finding exploits in it. So the speedrun competition is also for 1 week. So go ahead and start practicing. The speedrun rules and the costume contest rules will all be in the same video. It's going to be a whole video about the Halloween sale, about Wizzy the Orange, about the costume competition, about the speedrun. All of it will be in one easy-to-access video. It'll explain everything super clearly. It's going to be scripted. I'm not going to be rambling it off the top of my head. And there will be 3 winners for the costume competition, and then the top 3 speeds will each, per person. You know, if somebody gets if one person gets all top 3 speeds, only the fastest one will count. So 3 different people will get to compete for the top speed in the speed run. And we will announce the winners on Saturday. The video will also include deadline submission times. Obviously, we're going to have sometime before the stream starts. We'll have to stop it so I know who to announce as the winners. So that is going to be the competitions to get those 6 Wizzy the Oranges without having had a previous Wizzy the Blue. So
an interesting question comes in from Jazz Wolf.
Yep. What's up?
As I have Wizzy the Blue already, can I still enter the costume contest and the speedrun contest?
Yes. You could win a second Wizzy the Orange from the costume contest.
Very good.
And even a third from the speed run.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So if you are a hard competitor who happens to have equipment that looks sufficiently spooky and fancy. Now remember, the costume contest is probably the most exclusive one. Like, you have to have some pretty quick fingers to get through the speed run, but the costume contest might be the most challenging because there's only been so much equipment minted and sold so far. There's only been a few pieces. And if you're going to try to get any off the marketplace now, some of them might be on the expensive side. So good luck. It might be a very tight competition for the costume contest. So that is that's what's going on there. And any Wizzy the Blue owners up to Saturday next week. So whoever is the winner today, whoever is the winner on Panda's stream, whoever is the winner on Wednesday's stream, and whoever is the winner Saturday next week, all those Wizzy the Blue winners will all be getting Wizzy the Oranges as well. Whew. Did we cover everything? Did we get?
We got everything, Alex. I think
that was just a solid 40 minutes of announcements on giveaways.
So good though. I mean, I'm super excited, and it's nice to see an iconic asset like the Wizzy the Blue that is running out. Frankly, like I came back into this stream.
Oh yeah,
again,
I was gonna.
It's been a while since I was here, but I mean,
I was gonna tell you how many are left. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
that'd be
not
great
a
to
lot
because I know that it is not many. But the question comes in as you are looking that up. Will there be a giveaway today? And yes, it's a Saturday. So we're going to do it. If you don't have a Wizzy the Blue right now, you might win one today, and then you'll be eligible for next week's Wizzy the Orange giveaway. So that's going to be great.
All right. Wizzy the Blues. I have 37 left.
37. Wow, that is really
and
not
much. all that were supposed to be sent out previously have been sent out, so we're up to date with the last giveaway. Right. So I have exactly 37. I think I was going to stop at 10. So I think that means we have 27 left to give away. But we are not giving away Wizzy the Oranges after Saturday next week. The cutoff is Saturday next week, and whoever is going to get a Wizzy the Orange we will know Saturday next week, and that's all that's getting sent out.
All right.
There will be some sent to the Sandbox main account for their reserves. I will hold on to some. I think Joseph will probably get some as our dear companion here. I almost said dear leader, and I was like, that's not what I want to say.
Yeah, that's real bad. That's a mistake, Alex. That's a mistake. How many a question Ross Guru asks, how many Wizzy the Orange will there be minted?
The total minted will be 200, just like Wizzy the Blue. But like I said, there's going to be the 10 to the Sandbox game account, 10 to Joseph, 10 to me, so that's 30. Yep. That means that there's 170 after that. We've got the six competition winners from who have not, the competition's just started when I announced it now, basically. So we don't know who those winners are, but there's going to be 6 for that. I believe there were 3 buyers for Alina's full costume. So that's 9. So 39. That leaves about 160, right? No, 160. We've got 148 owners for Wizzy the Blue right now. So that's going to leave us with a very small tolerance. There may be like a couple left over, and those might either get burned, making it slightly more rare than Wizzy the Blue, or we might do something else with that, like who knows, maybe like
Well, I
like
can
a
already tell you,
like a
Alex.
giveaway
I can already
during.
tell you, Alex, that on November 6th, starting at
Hmm.
8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so it may already be November 7th for those. Maybe it's 9 p.m. I have to double check. So I ran into a scheduling conflict, Alex, and I know this is only a very small amount of relation to the Sandbox, but every year during the daylight savings time changeover here in America, there is an Extra Life charity event where I stream for 24 hours straight. And I earn money for sick kids. And our
Mm-hmm.
team has earned over $5,500 so far for sick kids this year. But the 24-hour stream is coming up. And I decided on the spot, just as you said, that I get 10 Wizzy the Oranges, that's what I'm doing with them. Those people who would like to win one, of those 10, I will give away all 10 during that live stream. So I want to get as many people as I can in there, as many people sharing it to help raise money for sick kids. And I figure, let's give away some stuff. So for those people who don't receive one during this, there will be an opportunity for you coming up within the next couple of weeks.
Excellent. Okay, great. So that will be one way, one other way that you'll be able to get them if you don't have a Wizzy the Blue currently. And I think so on the time that I announce for Saturday, there will be the snapshot of Wizzy the Blue owners, and I know the other things like the competitions and stuff that will reserve Wizzies. So whatever that leftover number is, might be like 9 or 5 or something like that. We will, I think, do a on-stream giveaway, like our Wizzy the Blue drawing for the rest of them.
Very good.
So I think that's what'll happen with that. And that way, a few people who don't have Wizzy the Blues will be able to get access to those, but they're going to be mostly exclusive to people with Wizzy the Blues because that's going to be the bulk of the owners. So if you now is your chance. There's not that many Wizzy the Blues listed.
It's true. I think there's
about
only
a
like 12,
dozen.
and it very
Yeah.
quickly gets up to 5 ETH.
Yeah. So good luck.
So they're super rare, and I'm very glad to have you guys here in our community. Just the fact that nobody wants to list that tells me that Alex is making a fantastic presentation each and every week. I know Panda Pops has had some giveaways on theirs. We've done some giveaways through individual streamers when I was part of that lead of the ambassadors. I am no longer, but that's okay. We will be doing, as they'll go out, and these Wizzy the Oranges is just a wonderful special event, Alex. And again, I'm honored, honestly honored to be able to be here and be here while you're announcing it. So Lucas and Nick Bossam asked, how do we find out when my 24-hour live stream is? So I'll be starting that up on the November 6th to November 7th. But if you follow my Twitch, I'll only be on Twitch because I am affiliate there, so I can't stream anywhere else. So twitch.tv/TheVisionEX, or you can follow the Twitter. You got the link in the chat already because Alex is ahead of you. Ahead of me, rather. And Lucas, post a link to the charity stream. I'd love to support it. Once again, I'll be there. You'll just see it go live, and I'm going to be live for a long time. It's actually a super long day for me. The only reason why I'm starting at 8 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. is that the scheduling conflict. My wife and we went to watch a movie recently in a theater. It's like an hour drive to get to a decent theater here. And we got there, and there were some kids, and they all like tore off their masks, and we're just like, making a ruckus. And so, and then afterwards, we went out to eat. And Brittany, she's wonderful, super smart lady. She did the math, and she was like, "Hey, for the price of eating and the price of buying movie tickets, we could have just rented out the whole theater and not had to deal with that." And so, hello, Noam, how are you? So yeah, funny thing. As we get into
that actually that gives
yeah.
me date night ideas.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's expensive because it was like $200 to rent out the theater, but it was like
that's the cost of a nice dinner.
Exactly. Yeah, like we had just got, and it wasn't. I mean, no offense, right? But it wasn't that nice of a dinner. We went to the Outback Steakhouse, so like it's nice, but like
it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's nice, but it's not
like
like
upgraded Chili's or Applebee's.
Exactly. Yeah, but anyway. So do we want to get into this little pet tutorial here, Alex?
Yeah, we're gonna
And I'll
do.
around some
We've got
stuff
a
here.
bunch of stuff to show today. So there was a question earlier from Andy. Andy, are you still listening, or are you just running around in the hub, being a goofball? I think he's probably still listening. So, Andy asked about the pumpkins that have physics on them. Okay, he says, "Yeah, I'm here." So these pumpkins, they do have physics on them, but it's going to look different for everybody who has joined. Basically, the positions on these pumpkins are defined locally on my computer or your computer, whoever's they're determined client side is what we would say. So, basically, whenever you spawn into the game, whenever you load up the level, these pumpkins are in their start position, even if somebody's already kicked them. So let's say I was the first person in. I kicked the pumpkins all over the place. I see them in a certain place, but when a new person loads in, they see the pumpkins at their original start position because they're defined client side. That's where they spawn in. It's on client side. They are not updated to the server. The server doesn't know where these pumpkins are. It doesn't even pay attention to the fact that they're there. So, each time somebody logs in, they're seeing it at the original position. So as they continue to get kicked around, they're going to diverge even more and more from each client because each person's going to see them in a new place. So
Funny,
like
I can actually
I'm kicking
see
one right
you
now.
kick that last one, but only when you kicked mine.
You were in this server before me. You were already in here before it started. So if nobody had kicked those pumpkins, if we all logged in at the same time, the pumpkins would all be in the same position. And whenever, but any bit of lag will introduce variance into that because Joseph only sees the pumpkin get kicked when he sees my character kick it, not when I actually kick it. So if there's a millisecond of lag in there, if my position is off by some tiny amount, it's going to change the physics. It's a whole chaos theory thing going on.
Sure.
And then somebody logs in fresh and they see them all in the start position, and then we're kicking around a pumpkin and they don't see a pumpkin at all because it's still over by the house and not in the street. So Andy, I would love it for these pumpkins to show up server side. It should at some point eventually. When we start looking at multiplayer game experiences, that's going to be a thing. But right now, they're not tracked server side at all. Yes, we're in Spooksville 2020. So quick history on this. This was I made this last year for Halloween as a way to like celebrate the Creator Fund. So each one of these houses is a Creator Fund cells 1 through 8. We at the time we only had 8. I think the 8th one had only just started. That was, I don't know if Panda's still in cell 8. She was in cell 8 when it started. I was the cell lead for cell 8 because we didn't have anybody else at that point. Originally, I was the cell lead for cell 2. And then somebody else took over too, and then I wasn't a cell lead for a while, and then we were like, we need another person, and so I became lead for 8, and since then I'm no longer in the cell leadership. Gato Stau is the general manager over all the cells, and since he took over, we have gone from 8 cells to 24 cells. So what was once 8 houses with about 50 artists is now 24 houses with almost 240 artists in the Creator Fund, and that is in 1 year of growth. So, to give a frame of reference, this is my 3rd year here at the Sandbox, starting in December. So for the first 2 years that I was in the Sandbox, I don't think we went over 60 or 70 artists. And then in this past year, it has exploded in the Creator Fund. So if you're applying to the Creator Fund, and it's taking a little bit of time. That's the main reason why is we are looking for more managerial-minded people to help lead the artists, because it takes a lot of organization to give all these artists assignments and do their approvals and check all their work and stuff. So it keeps us very busy. But I did not have time to make a Spooksville 2021 because it would be 3 times the size of this, or at least 3
Yep.
times the
Yep.
amount of stuff, maybe the same size but more dense, who knows. So we're not going to do a Spooksville 2021, but we might do like, I don't know, like a Festival Town 2021. I'm thinking in the Creator Fund, we just did a whole bunch of like Christmas and New Year's assets. So we might do like, some caroling or something. Have a wintry themed Santa's Village kind of experience. Maybe in the next 2 months. Maybe for December we'll set that up. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what I have time to do.
And it's funny about the Alex. I love seeing our holiday themed spaces, but I think it'd be very interesting to see what the community comes up with, because we have a lot of folks who are in our community that are from the southern hemisphere.
Oh
And
yeah.
it'd be very interesting to see how their like Christmas themed or other holiday, Kwanzaa's and things like that come out in a holiday space, because I can't imagine that somebody down in Australia, if they were having Christmas,
Not a
is
lot of
going
snow.
to. Yeah, exactly, right? Like there's no
Maybe
snow, so like
maybe
what are
some
your unique
white sand beaches maybe?
yeah, like what are your unique ideas for a Christmas around the world? I think that would be
Yeah.
very interesting to see, because frankly, I don't know what that looks like, and it'd be really cool to see that in a different light rather than, where I am in the northern half of the northern hemisphere.
I
So
should talk to Chris. Chris is one of our newer, I think he's technically a community manager. You're dancing on my
sure,
head. You're
I
dancing
might
on my
be.
head.
I might be. I mean, technically, it's not you. I mean, it's pumpkin spice, Alex. So he's not the same guy.
So, um, so in case you've been watching the Sandbox news clips, we have a new person taking care of that named Chris, and he has got a beautifully soothing Australian accent. Like I almost wasn't sure. Like I can usually tell the difference between like Australian and British accents pretty well. I might not be able to tell New Zealand from Australian, but Australia to England is a pretty big difference that I can usually hear, and I've
Yeah.
known some Australians in real life before too. But it's so calm and soothing. I love his voice, and so he does our no shade to Joseph, but he does our news now, and
Oh no,
and
I don't take any shade to that, my guy. I gotta tell you, like I loved doing the news, but if for those people who didn't already know, I would wait. So I live on a highway. Like it's not a major highway, but it's a rural highway. There's always vehicles, right?
mhm.
And so I would stay up until 2 a.m. so that I could stand up, turn up my mic sensitivity to 1,000,000, and then like back away from everything to try to make it
Oh
look
yeah,
decent. You know what I mean?
without like a
I didn't.
boom or a lapel,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah. So no shade, no shade. It's like I'm glad that somebody can, keep that content going. I was a little bit sad when I had to stop doing that one in particular, because it was like took a sort of sense of pride in seeing it slowly get better and better and better every week. But very happy to see that it's still going.
Kyler Fisher asks, "Will there be a question period today?" Well, you're not allowed to ask that question outside the question period.
Well,
The whole period, the whole period is a question period. So ask your questions anytime. We will answer them as soon as we can. Obviously, we talk about all sorts of different stuff, but people will have questions when they have questions, and we don't want to make people try to hold that in their head for an hour until a certain given time. So J429, yes, this is playable right now. This is everybody you see all around me right now. A bunch of these are people who are here on the stream chat with us as well. I know Touche, Jazz Wolf, Joseph is the Vision X, Andy Ritchie are all names that I recognize from the chat here on stream right now. I imagine most of the other people here are also watching. So yeah.
All right. Okay, Alex, what do you think about making that transition into
That's
the
right. I'm going to
pets
have to
design the game creator aspects of this game. I need to refresh my restream chat. And while you are making that transition, Alex, folks who are listening live, watching live on each of our platforms, should be able to see this form's link to a Wizzy the Blue NFT giveaway. And as Alex mentioned much earlier on, those people who own a Wizzy the Blue NFT before next Saturday will have a free Wizzy the Orange NFT sent to your account. This is exclusive to people who own the Wizzy the Blue NFT, with exception of a couple of special events. But the Wizzy the Orange will run out faster than the Wizzy the Blue, so this is one of your few chances. And just what did you say? 27 Wizzy the Blues left available to the public at this time. So,
About
yeah. So very
not
rare
including
asset.
today's.
Running out. Nobody's trying to sell them, or with the exception of a very small, select few number of people's
at high prices.
at very high prices, and that's all good. That is the nature of the beast. When you have something really cool, people will want to spend a lot on it. But your opportunity right now, click the link in the chat, put in your responses. Once these responses get to, let's say, 12:05 p.m. my local time, in 5 minutes, I will close the form, select a user, okay? So that's out there for you. Welcome, Zerpa Jose. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm back on, but only on Saturdays, right? So I'm working with the kids. That's been going really well. Just got out of a University of Washington meeting, and they're one of the world's leading scientific-based universities. They are coming down to my very small town, helping these kids who, they have a lot of cool opportunities coming up, but doing a drone program, and you'd be surprised at the number of jobs today that can be done with a drone and the super high-tech stuff. But it's gonna be really cool for them. Okay, let's see here. So Sam asks, I'm sure you've talked about this before, but will projectiles like bullets and the like be a thing in the future? So Sam, I can confidently say that yes, projectiles will be added, but I don't have a timeline at this time. It's been something that we've been exploring in the sandbox for a very long time. So there's a lot of different things to consider when you add in projectiles. And some folks have been able to use the game maker to make a sort of pseudo projectile by essentially launching explosives or void assets out there, and that's worked out very well. I'm seeing a little crab rave going on here, Alex. What are you doing? What do you got going on the screen here?
So this is one possible solution. I don't think this is the exact one that was used for Professor Stitch, because the behavior roams differently. So this is with the prey behavior. You can have it set to attack the avatar, but make the damage 0. So it will actually not it will not harm the avatar, but then you get kind of this goofy, like they give each other a bath, scrubby bubbles. So that they're very OCD crabs. They are very clean. They like making sure that you're clean too, so they will chase you down and scrub you down. But then they overlap, so this is a little goofy. So what we can do is we're actually going to change this from predator to, I believe, which one did I pick? I think I picked, if we do prey and have you set as the food type, and let's see.
Alex's character is delicious.
You know it. It's the pumpkin spice.
It's the pumpkin spice.
So they might actually eat me here. I'm not sure. So they follow. They're pretty slow though to follow. And see, my position doesn't update very quickly for them. And now yeah. They have decided to make me a parade float, which is funny because they keep pushing me.
That's great.
And
that's actually hilarious because you want to crowd surf? Do you want to have a crowd surf animation?
Yeah, there you go.
Right there.
There you go. So that one doesn't work quite as well either. The one that I made last night that looked really, really good, I want to say was with melee enemy instead of predator, because
Okay.
melee enemy has a unique behavior that it's done in recent updates, that it will surround the player instead of going to the closest point of the player. They will actually try to loop around you and give each other room. You know how in like kung fu movies they always like stand on either side of the hero, and
Oh
they
yeah.
like they very carefully like surround the hero.
And then one at a time they attack
One
the
at a
hero
time.
instead of
Yeah,
rushing them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Kill Bill
Yeah.
style. They just kind of
Yep.
like it's not all at once. So that's kind of how our melee enemies do. So we're gonna increase our chase zone to max, which
Okay,
is
so I'm going to answer a
100.
couple of questions while you're saying this here real quick. But
Okay.
how will the metaverse be policed? What if users build inappropriate things on their land? I can answer that in two different ways. Currently, if you see something that is inappropriate, you can report it to a moderator on Discord, and many of those moderators, including myself as an ambassador, can go and take that content down. So if you see somebody putting something that is inappropriate, that gets reviewed by the team at this time. But longer term, if you see something that is inappropriate or maybe it's copyright protected content, you can also, in the long term, report it with a sand token as the way to report, or a portion of sand. And then those reports get reviewed by the community. If they are confirmed to be bad, then the things get taken down. Like if somebody stole your content, they duplicated one of your assets or something like that, you could say this is a duplicate. It gets confirmed. And then because you reported with sand, you actually get a sand reward given to you, and the asset will get taken down. But this helps prevent false claims, because there is a certain monetary upfront that you would have to pay, right? So you don't have a bunch of people claiming things that don't make sense. So that is how that system will go long term in the future. But right now, yeah, it's very simple. Just report it to a moderator, a staff member, with probably a direct message, but you could also put it up on the Discord, and you could get it taken care of, within a couple of hours, I would say. There's been a couple of those situations where like images that are on the this looks great. Alex, you see this? Alex has done the thing. He's done the creepy thing. All right, what'd you do here, Alex?
Well, I told them about our Lord and Savior Wizzy the Blue, and I now have a little cult crab following.
Very good.
So,
Very good.
real quick, I see a question in the chat. How do you random rotate? So if you select everything and you tap R, it will randomly rotate them. There's actually hints right here. It says that in the hints toggle. So if you just like automatically hit H to hide that, there's actually important stuff in here. So control left control D or right control D will duplicate. So just control D doesn't. It's saying you can do with the left or the right side, but just control D. Press delete or backspace to delete a selection. Press F to go to a selection. So if you want to say zoom in onto this specific crab, you press F, and it's like that one. Or you can click another, go to that one. And then R to rotate randomly. So what I did to get this is we're using the melee enemy behavior. I'm going to edit the logic. It helps to have speed gems and luck gems. Actually, you know what? Luck gems don't affect this. I saw that green, and I thought luck affected it, but I don't think it. I think that just tells you what the range is going to be. It doesn't actually. It's not because it has a green gem on it. That's just an icon, versus like attack range, which has a red. So,
I see
let me move
that's pretty relevant here, and I want to make sure address it. Manglo says, "Can you make NM mature rated game experience?" Now, currently, there is not a system that I'm aware of. This may have changed, Alex, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope,
but there's not a system
not yet.
To state that your game is rated M for mature. Okay, and or different countries have different rules, right? So what I would recommend is, as an individual developer working on the blockchain, you are responsible for the game that you create and the experience therein. There is nothing inherently that says you can't make an M-rated game. We've had those in the Game Maker Fund even have some potentially mature content, depending on where you live in the world. So I would say that if you were going to make something that is explicitly rated mature, maybe you make a sort of a lobby space when you first log in that tells you about the story. And we've seen this in some of our older game jams where they will say like, "Hey, the game is loading, and wait here," and all the assets were loading in the background. So they had a lobby and then they had the game. Um, but if you did something like that, you could say this content is rated mature. It contains this and this and this, right? Or
Mhm.
you could say whatever it is, Peggy 18, I think,
You
in
can
the
also
UK,
say
right?
it in the description on the before people click on the game. They should
Yeah,
be able to see
very good.
that.
Yeah,
I would say definitely do that. Let
yeah,
people know. We did see that on some game jam entries. People mentioned, hey, there's some language in here that you might not want your kids to see or something like that. But what we do, so as Joseph mentioned earlier, there's should be a report feature that allows sand staking, and we that will be for content that goes against our terms of service. So obviously, we can't it can't be like promoting like terrorism or something, or like
right, sure.
extreme adult content, like adult only AO rated games, like not that. But if you wanted to do mature rated content, I mean, we even have a partner in our game maker fund that has some upper nudity stuff that we intend to have age verification and be able to have a like a block filter on that kind of stuff through the website, and that's that shouldn't be too difficult to implement, and something that we can through moderation can apply to stuff. So if somebody doesn't put that filter up or put that notice, we could kind of push it that way. So yeah, that's not something that we've had to really deal with too much. And in voxels, it's not the kind of the nature of the art form is like less graphically possible. Although we do have the NFT frames, which means people can put in a high res image into their game, and potentially video streams also. So these are things that we're aware of. We're closely tied in with lots of people who have families, and that is true. Shoot hot shot. That is true. But that's why we would want to have the age verification on an account level. And yeah, there comes a point where like you can only do so much to limit those kind of things. Like a basic age verification is kind of standard, and it's not. We can't collect information from minors. Like that's illegal in most places. So we can't say, hey, you need to verify that you're under 18. And also kind of the nature of the crypto space and gaming in general. Like nobody's going to want to provide their driver's license just to prove they're over 18, and we're not really set up for that. So it's mostly just it's kind of like an honor system. Pay attention to what your kids are doing and help them set up their accounts and just make sure that it says the right age on there. And yes, Lozen, I have it almost works.
Yeah, it's like we're not gonna say it's high quality because it's voxels, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like the point
like
gets across, and so it's kind of one of those things where you're
this,
like,
the
oh,
point. Yeah,
like if you played, wow, Alex, wow.
yeah. Well, I was thinking
If you've ever played,
PS1, Tomb Raider kind of.
yeah, well, I was thinking more like I think it's more akin to like Halo 1 when you have like Cortana and you
Okay,
see
yeah,
Cortana, right? And
right,
it's like, yeah, it's there,
yeah,
but like, is it there? No,
yeah.
not really,
Well,
And so
look,
you kind of like, that's not the reason that game is rated mature, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, so
Lozen,
there's,
have you heard of Hack the Tau? They're kind of a famous crypto artist, and they're one of our partners. So yeah. So
yeah, there you go.
Lizard King, it's not banned. There's no it's not banned, but we're working towards effective age gating, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's the best way I can I can describe it. Well, Lozen, you got to look up Hack the Tau. You might actually like what they do. So,
I got an announcement for you, Alex.
what's that?
User Oralindes. Oralindes. I apologize. I put an A in there for no reason. You win the Wizzy the Blue NFT for this week over on twitch.tv. Congratulations to you. They have been tagged in the twitch.tv chat, so they will know that they are the winner of today's live stream. The Wizzy the Blue, once again, because they own it, if they choose to hold it, they will get the Wizzy the Orange NFT distributed after the snapshot next week.
You do have to hold it till stream time Saturday next week. That's
there they are
that's the way.
The chat. Hello.
So yeah, Kodazeni, it doesn't surprise me that you know, and I agree. I think Hack the Tau will be up Lozen's alley. All right, so Panda doesn't have a Wizzy yet.
Panda, there's no way Panda doesn't have a Wizzy yet.
Yeah, I think for a lot of our streamers, we gave a Wizzy, so I need to check on that. Just as she has a Santa Wizzy. Okay, well, so we had some discretionary Wizzy the Blues given to people who have streamed with us, and important community members, as well as the giveaways. So I'll make sure that's rectified. So we haven't finished explaining what this crab is doing here. So to do this pet, having extra speed gems on the asset will help it keep up with your player. So this one has, I believe, 1 speed gem on it. Yep, 1 speed gem. You want it to be a melee enemy, and tags to attack is the avatar. Now, if you don't see all these controls, you need to make sure that you click the edit logic button, which is right behind Joseph's head. Click that big blue edit logic button, and you get all the other details. There we go. That works. Yeah. So we've got melee enemy, tags to attack or avatar, motion speed as high as it'll go, chasing zone as big as it'll go. Most of these other controls are locked because of the nature of the behavior. We don't need it to be interruptible or block attacks because we're not going to be attacking it. And we're going to say attack damage is 0, attack rate is 0, but we do want a little bit of attack range. So like 1, 2, or 3. That way, you might have noticed when I tried it first, they were all clustering underneath me, which is, I guess if you have a dog, that's kind of what they do, but that's not how I roll. So we can set a larger attack range, and they will stop before they get under you, because what the behavior is saying is like, hey, you're in range to attack. You don't need to keep chasing. So we set it to say like 3, and they give us a little bit of space. All right, so they're trying to attack, but because we set their attack to 0, nothing happens. And so now they're all spaced out because of that attack range. I think that attack range also sets the distance between them. So if we set it to like 1, obviously you don't have to have 50 pets. You could have just 1 if you wanted. Yeah, so setting attack range to 1. Actually, no, the distance between them is pretty much the same. So it's only that initial distance, that first ring around you, that gets changed by that. So however close you want them to stay to the player, you could actually set it really big, like 5 if you wanted. And then the other thing we want to do is we want to put an indicator component and turn off everything. Because if we don't have the indicator component, it's going to keep on showing them as a hostile. So this is not what you want to see your pets doing. That is
like, all your pets are going to get you.
So we're going to send them to obedience school, put an indicator component, and that kind of overrides, that indicator displays instead of their attack mechanism. So we're going to turn off the display name. We're going to turn off quest cursor. We're going to edit logic, turn off all the rest of these display over, set these to 0, all of those off.
I'm all in the way for that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So indicator component, just everything zeroed out, either empty or zeros, everything off, and that's it. That's the whole thing. And at first, like when we were doing the live stream for that game, I was like, how did he do a pet? Like, how did he do it? And then it took me like just like a minute of like, wait a minute, what if they're constantly trying to attack the player, but they can't actually attack the player?
Yeah.
And there you go. So
That's great. Actually, another thing, right? Like at the top, I talked about this being maybe possibly like a creepy mechanic, and obviously with all of them being out here in this circle, it is a creepy mechanic. So it's plausible that if you had like, I don't know, 6, 10, 12, whatever number you're comfortable putting into your game that comes to this point, and then you walk them to a certain point, right? And there's a trigger once you get there that turns them from this like just creepy thing to actively attacking you. That could be a really cool mechanic inside your game. So seeing a lot of opportunity.
yeah, so what you could do for something like that is if you made them a child behavior. So you say like you put this on here, and you made it like you made this a predator behavior or an enemy. Actually, I have to run to the door real quick. I hear somebody knocking. But Joseph, there was a question about Polygon. So what I know about Polygon, real quick, is it should be possibly coming next month. Maybe not everything at once, but at least starting. Joseph, do you want to run people through real quickly what Polygon is and how it can benefit? Yes. And I will be right back.
Absolutely. Okay, so I can tell you all about Polygon and sidechains and kind of how that works from just the crypto side of things. If you're not familiar with what Polygon is, this is formerly known as Matic, but it's been probably 6 months since they rebranded, so we'll just call it Polygon. Here, the token is Matic. If you own that token, Matic, you'll take all of your assets that are on the Ethereum blockchain and you'll move them to this, what you call a sidechain. Right. And on a side chain, how it works is exactly the same as it works on the Ethereum chain. And it'll have the same wallet. You can use the same wallet inside MetaMask even. But rather than using Ethereum to pay for your transactions, you'll pay your transactions in Matic or the Polygon token. And so if you're on the Ethereum main network, you may, just a few seconds ago, I purchased a Wizzy the Golden because I realized I didn't have one anymore and I wanted one. And it was a 0.01 gas fee, roughly, for that transaction if I was okay with waiting a little while. So I did that. So 0.01 ETH is, what is that, like $100? $100? That's a lot of money, right? But Matic tokens are about $1.50 right now for one token. So 0.01 Matic tokens would be a penny and a half, right? In terms of US dollars. So moving to that side chain is going to save you a lot of money in terms of US dollars used. And you can always move your money back to the main network on Ethereum blockchain if you want to. And then you have you've got the opportunity to have a faster blockchain potentially, because if there are fewer transactions happening on the Polygon network compared to all of the Ethereum main network, then your transaction could process faster even though you're using a lower fee. So the average transaction on the Polygon main network that I have seen, or on that sidechain, is about 30 GUI or gas fee. The higher you make that, the faster your transaction goes. But on Ethereum, when a big project comes out, like anything, let's say that we released a Wizzy the Pink next week and everybody wanted to buy it all at once, gas fees could go up to 1,000, 5,000 GUI rate, and that ends up, obviously becoming pretty expensive pretty fast when you talk about Ethereum. So the sidechain has a lot of advantages. It's also more ecological because Polygon is running as a proof of stake blockchain instead of a proof of work blockchain. So there's so much going on, but hopefully that clears up some of that for you. It is so much cheaper. It's faster. It's quite nice actually. And the only part that is a slight, you know, roadblock is that you'll need to move things, off of the Ethereum blockchain and onto the Polygon mainnet. And so there's a little bit of an ETH fee to make that transition. But once you've made it, you'll probably end up saving out, like very quickly, saving money if you're using it inside the Sandbox marketplace, because as we talked about at the top of the show, when you're buying all those outfit pieces, if you bought them individually, you were paying ETH gas fees individually. If you're on Polygon mainnet, instead of paying $100 per piece to buy a piece of armor or something, you're paying a penny a piece, and so you'll save out very quickly in doing so. So Ed Sam says there's a website that checks how much gas you've used ever, and I've used almost 3 ETH in gas. And Andy Ritchie says yes, that is fee.wtf. And so I'm going to check that right now, just for the sake of having a laugh, because I already know this is not going to be good for Joe. This isn't going to be good. Let me see if
What happened?
oh, well, I was just checking. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fees, fees.wtf. And it checks your Ethereum wallet to see how much you've spent on gas.
No.
And the gas fees that I've spent over the last 2 years on this wallet is 7.55 for Ethereum. Roughly $31,000 in gas fees. Oof, indeed. Oof, indeed. I see you in the chat. So, but that's it. That's okay, right? Because you've got, I had 85 transactions failed that cost me 0.612. Yeah, you haven't had as many failures as I have. You know what I mean?
But I haven't participated in as many land sales.
Yeah, right. At the end of the day, we've got more. You're buying things that have intrinsic value, and so those gas fees have gone right into the value of the asset.
Yeah,
it's definitely not been a negative for me. But once again, as we go back to the idea of the Polygon network, if I spent 7.55 for Matic tokens, that's $10. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's fine. So yeah, layer twos overall, not just Polygon, but layer twos are a good thing for your pocketbook. They're a good thing because they reduce
just a blank page.
What's that?
The Matic-fees.wtf is just nothing. It's a blank page.
Like, guess what? You don't have that many fees, right? Like, it's a little joke, but you probably would have to switch to the Matic network on your MetaMask wallet if you were looking at that in order to actually see what you've paid. But regardless, so that's a brief overview of what the Polygon network is, the advantages of it when we get there, when we get fully integrated as the Sandbox. You'll be able to leverage those great fees in terms of US dollars. You'll be able to save quite a bit. So good stuff.
All right. Yeah, no, for a frame of reference, I don't know what the value of all the NFTs I have is, but my rough estimate based on how much I've spent and how much land and some of the specific assets I have that I know have increased in value, it's probably close to 100K. I mean, and I don't in total US dollar value, which is mind-boggling to me because that's like more than I've ever made in my life.
Sure.
So,
that's not entirely true, but yeah.
I mean,
so? You really think so?
In 10 years of working,
that's fair. That would be like $10,000.
Okay, no, okay, so yeah, okay, so yeah, give me like 4 years.
There you go.
4 years of working at previous jobs. And so I'm not trying to like flex on earnings. Like a few years ago, I was definitely what I would call poor. Like I could not always afford to like pay rent and feed my family. Like it was a struggle being a millennial who graduated high school in 2008 and college in 2011. 2007 is when I graduated high school. I don't know why I said 2008. 2007. And just got dumped into like a terrible work market. And it's amazing to see so many people around my age in our community finding success here. And to enable that success, I mean, I've hired a lot of people to work with us. So
it's amazing what's happening in this space and in crypto spaces in general. Like, I'll tell you, Alex, so I, as you know, right, I'm only here on Saturdays now because I saw this opportunity to help kids in our local community. create great programs for them and that sort of thing, right? So I'm in it and I'm doing that, but I'm back working with what I would describe as regular humans, right? People who aren't just completely into the cryptoverse, you know what I mean? Like, and Sam C, I'm going to answer your question in a second because I see it up there. But I've run into this weird thing, Alex, and it's funny to have conversations with you after having conversations with normal humans, because
I
like
don't count as a normal human.
no, I mean you'll see why in a second. So
Normies,
like 2 weeks ago there was the announcement for one of our friends in the Animoca brand space, Axie Infinity. They announced that they were going to do staking for their token, right? So
Mhm.
I was at work at the time, and I was like, okay, hey, I'm going to go take lunch, right? It's noon. I'm going to go take lunch. I'm going to take 30 minutes. I'm driving home. So I drive home and I click, I'm buying, oops, all the Axie tokens. I spent like $30,000 US on Axie tokens that day, and I stake them all. And then I go to work. And at the end of the day, right before I was going to leave, I had like a couple minutes to breathe. I type in like what's Axie worth currently on yeah, whatever, like a CoinGecko or something similar to that, and I was up like $5,000. And so I go to my boss and I was like, "Oh man, this is amazing! I'm so excited!" And I was like, "I just made like $5,000 since lunch," and she was just like, "What?" Which is, it's like twice what I make as a wage, a month. Uh,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and she's just like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, oh well," and it hit
People
me like a
people will
ton of
think like
bricks.
I mean it's kind of like gambling, but people will think
Yeah,
like you're like doing something illicit. And it's like,
no,
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 this is
not
just a
even, not
this is the
even. Yeah,
thing
I
here
was
that
just like,
anybody can get into with like
exactly.
$20.
Yeah, like it's just time, right? Like a couple of years ago, all I had was like $700, and now here we are doing crazy things like that. And then I come back in on Monday, and she's like, "So did you make any more money?" And I was like, "Yeah, I made like $20,000 this weekend." And then she's just like, "What?" Because like my annual salary, I think, is only like $32,000 for this job, but I'm not here for the money for that job, right? I'm there
Right.
for the kids, and so they, she, she was just like, "How do I get into this? Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "Do it now! Do it now! Get in!"
Yeah.
There we go. So
Yeah.
Sam says the same thing. I remember the first time I had a pop like that, and people couldn't believe it. You're right. Like we're in a weird, wild space, and I have described it many times to friends as like, this is the Wild West. You don't know what's going to happen. You can make anything happen. You just have to commit some time to it. Panda Pops tried to explain to my boss about it. Made my granddad buy sand today. Smart panda, so one of the people who owns the building that I live in now had asked me about like what was a good currency to buy and like which ones I had, and I said, well, that once upon a time I had 300,000 sand and it's worth like 75 cents now a share. And the guy was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, like just get in, go get it now, and you never know like in 5 years where it's going to be. It can be
Mhm.
like and so, if you're just investing money that like if you were going to blow it on, I don't know, pineapple juice or something, you know what I mean? Like just
Pineapple juice is
take it.
really good. I mean,
It's really, really
I
good.
love
I got
pineapple juice.
I got this one that has green tea extract in it as well, so it's
Ooh.
got caffeine in my pineapple
Ooh.
juice, and I'm like, "Thank you, sir. May I have
Ooh.
another?" Uh, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just if you're out there and you're thinking like, "Hey, I only have $20," and you were gonna, if you're gonna, what I did to get the $700 that I started with was every time I wanted to buy a video game, I would also make sure that I had enough to put that much to the side and buy crypto with it, and
That's
that's
not
what
a
I did.
bad idea.
Spending 20
That's
bucks
like
on a
a
video game, I've got 20 bucks for crypto as well.
that's yeah, that's a good like, 50-50 split to be like, do something fun and then also put it into what is basically your high yield savings account or
Yeah.
investments. And what
Yeah,
is
exactly.
going on with the library here? There we go. The pages were weird.
But and that's the thing is like I try to like relate it to just whatever your vice is, right? Everybody's got one.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a thing that they want to do. That not necessarily, the thing that makes you happy. If you can also say the thing that makes me happy, I can commit half of that budget to this as well. Then you'll find, generally speaking, that you're going to be able to buy more of the thing that makes you happy at the end of the day.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
there's so much good stuff going on. The other day, I got lucky on an NFT that I had purchased, and I resold it like because I got an offer instantly for it.
Mhm.
That was like 4 times what I had purchased it for, and so I took that offer, and then I took half of that and I donated to charity. And I was like, that's a thing, right? You can
Mhm.
do all sorts of cool things when you just go, and with the sandbox it's amazing because you can just create those things, and create
Right.
those things, create that value proposition. You create a beautiful asset, people want to buy it, you get it hyped up, you make
Oh
some
yeah.
sand,
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
The
Panda
the
did that exact thing.
the value that I estimated onto my OpenSea collection, or my wallet. What's in my wallet? What's in your wallet? Uh, am I allowed to say that? We're gonna get copyright striked for that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's a
so
trademark. Yep.
so, um, so that estimate did not include Wizzy the Blues,
Yeah,
because each one of those right now is the floor price on them is
like
about
$1,000,
about
right?
$1,000 depending on what the
Yeah,
value of ETH and Sand are at the time. So,
yeah.
we've given out 100 and what did I say? How many did I have left? 30 something. We've given out like 100. There's 135 holders right now. Some of them have like 10, like the Sandbox game has 10.
Hmm.
So I've given out about 125 of those between my stream, Panda's streams, and a couple other streamers that Joseph popped in to give those away.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's like we basically these streams have given out $100,000 in Wizzy the Blue prizes, which is just
Sure. Yeah, wild, right? It's wild.
like we made that on stream, like we did that
Yeah.
as a community, and it's just it's crazy to see that. My plan with Wizzy the Blue, I wanted him to increase in value by being rare as a giveaway to the community for watching these streams. I just had no idea how much people would value that, and it's amazing to see that. The same thing has happened with the sand fountains. If any of you OG viewers from back with exclamation point sand in the chat giving away sand fountains, those go
Wow.
for I think about $500 right now. They're technically more rare than Wizzy the Blue, but they're not as well known as Wizzy the Blue, so they're kind of a sleeper hit if you want to grab some of those before people go back and find out about it. I do that now.
Yeah.
Um,
It'd be interesting to see what the current value of the Wizzy Tower that you had sold a while ago was, because I'll bet you that
sand is about the same price now
yeah,
as
but
when it
I
first
guess what I mean
sold.
to say is like, how much money would it take for the person who purchased that to finally go like, okay, I guess I'll sell that? Because I feel like it's like an infinite number. You know what I mean? They had spent 15,000 sand on the asset originally, and I don't think they would ever want to give it away. They may just put it in their game and go like, yeah, that's right, I have
Um,
this, you don't have
so
this.
so
You know what I mean?
they do have it listed for 40,000 sand.
Oh, okay, okay, relatively a bargain, I would say, actually.
so
uh
so
like, I'm not kidding about that. If you think about
that's
like the
that's
one of
thirty
one
thousand
tower,
dollars.
it is, it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely more than they got it for, and they're going to get more stuff. So I feel bad that I've
Yeah,
been so busy. I haven't been able. When I make promises to the community, I really like fulfilling them. We've just been so busy with getting the game made that I haven't been able to release everything else that goes along with it. So with the Wizzy's windmill, with all the pirate stuff that I did for the pirate sale, and
hmm,
the peacock idols, which are there's still 8 out of 10 for sale. Just just in case anybody wants them. There's gonna be like cards and stuff that I'm gonna mint and send for free to everybody who has those. So I do fully intend on filling all those goals. It's just been a little things have been a little nuts around here.
sure.
So anyway,
Really
all this.
quickly, I got some questions in the chat,
Yeah, yeah,
Alex,
yeah.
and I'd like
Let's
to
do that.
address them. I don't
I'll
want to
finish
miss them
setting this
here.
up.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Glob says my main message didn't send. The Sandbox website is unaccessible. Every page leads to the main page. Um, I am not having an
That's
issue with that. I have checked. Currently, it goes everywhere that I want it to go. So that's just letting you know about that. And Earthwise says, "Hey, I took a screenshot on the dance floor. Where do I post it for the contest?" And I believe, I could be wrong, but usually those contests are on Twitter. Am I wrong about this, Alex?
It's not been posted yet, but it will be.
Okay.
I have to finish making the video that's gonna promote all of the things going on for the next week. So I've started working on that video, but making videos is a lot of work, especially if you want them to look good. So and that's kind of my thing. I don't like doing things that don't look good.
Kirsch, you own a Wizzy the Blue NFT, do you not?
I believe so.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we've announced that name.
Let's double check.
Just want to be sure. I mean, obviously that doesn't, they may not have held it. They can choose to do whatever they want with the NFT. It is an NFT. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Well, maybe.
Klein Kirsch has not ever won a Wizzy the Blue NFT.
What? How is that possible?
In all this time, Kirsch doesn't have the luck on their side.
Well, okay. So there's a bunch of other opportunities though. You've got the costume contest, the speed run contest, plus the extra giveaways that we're doing on the day of. So make sure to tune in on Saturday, and
I've got you also on the 6th.
I have it hard to believe that you never won one.
Into the 7th, so you'll have an opportunity to get that Wizzy the Orange there. So we'll have lots of
and if you can scoop one up for I think 1,000 sand or whatever the point. Well, I guess it's now
right now it's
0.25 ETH or something like that.
12.99 sand right now. 1,299 for the
ETH has been holding over 4,000 for a little while now, which is also
looks like
weird.
Big Worm PGH has a private listing up for somebody else as well. So it maybe if you want to reach out to those folks who are listing Wizzies and see, they may give you looks like a secret price.
If you see somebody who has more than one, maybe you can work something out with them.
There you go.
Possibly. So
that was a question in the chat also, Alex, and I would have that. It was way earlier, but they had asked if I own 4 Wizzy the Blues. Do I get 4 Wizzy the Orange?
You only get 1 orange. One orange for each holder.
Okay, fair enough. Good to know.
And that leaves us with the room to accommodate for the other ways we have planned of distributing them. So
very good.
Your purchase of the band might have qualified. So I don't know. I'll have to think about it. because your purchase meant that I didn't get to buy the band.
Curse you, God, curse! I can't believe you've done this.
I don't know. So sometimes I get ideas and sometimes they're good. So we'll see. We'll see. I want to make sure everything's fair. All right. So
yeah.
So Joseph wanted to see this crab get angry.
I've got the crab rave stuck in my head since you started making crabs the pets, and I'm dying over here. And just the whole time when you guys have seen me on the stream, like bouncing around like this, it's just me like just that's it. That's the whole song. Now put it on a loop in your head forever.
So you made an oopsie and your Wizzy is in your old account. Oh no! Do you need to have access to your old account? So yes. So you don't have to apply. Like I'm going to airdrop these Wizzies to the accounts that hold Wizzy the Blue. So it's not. Yep. You don't have to do anything. If you want to move, if you don't want to pay gas fees for moving Wizzy the Blue and Wizzy the Orange from the other account, I would move Wizzy the Blue now. That way you're not moving more than one thing. Yeah, so move Wizzy the Blue to your new account. You can gift it to yourself. I can show you how to do that in like 3 seconds. So when you're on OpenSea, and I have to log in.
Yeah, I mean, once you've gifted it to your other account, you can, and you'll be able to do that for a small ETH gas fee. One thing that's critical about making that gift exchange is that you don't actually have to set your gas rate high, because it'll
You're
move
not
over there
fighting.
eventually.
You're
Yeah,
not fighting anybody to send it to your own account. So
yeah.
so let's say I've got this skeleton right here, and I want to send it from my main account to my Good Morning with Alex account. So you can I'm on Ethereum. Okay. So be careful. Like, I know what I'm doing, so I'm not showing anything I shouldn't be showing. It's fine that people see my main address, but if anybody ever asks you to like show your settings or your QR code, because it's very easy. I think maybe they changed it. I'm doing off to the side here so you can't see it, but okay, good. You can't even see it. You have to click on your settings to show the QR code. So I just wanted to make sure if somebody sees that QR code, they can try to start accessing your account more easily that way. So never ever show your settings on your MetaMask, because if somebody sees that QR code, they can try to take advantage of that. So just be careful. Yep. I'm something vaguely like a professional, so don't do this at home, kids. But let's say I wanted to send this skeleton from my main account. I keep on accidentally clicking that. From my main account to my secondary account. If I click here, I can click on this to change to my, say, Good Morning with Alex account. And you can see that OpenSea automatically changed. It even shows the Good Morning with Alex icon here. But I can click copy to clipboard of the destination wallet and then switch back to my main. And then transfer, paste in that other wallet, transfer, and then it's going to ask me to confirm. You can see the gas fee is not that expensive, $12. I mean, comparatively not expensive. It used to be like $3 when we started this. Yeah. I've been going back and calculating all my old gas fees. I'm like, good grief. The first the first 100 Wizzys got sent all for like less than $10, and then it like suddenly jumped up to like $60 for some of them, and I was like, oh, but the gas wars.
Another thing that's important here is above the price, you can click edit.
Yep. I'll do that again.
So while you're on that,
edit, and you can show recommendations, and you can say low.
As long as you have your advanced settings turned on, you can also change the actual amount of GUI rate that is on here. So you see where it says there's a max priority fee, there's a max fee. So you can change those things. Max priority fee is how fast do you want it to be detected by the network that a transaction is coming. And max fee is your actual rate once it is detected on the network and you're in line. What position in line do you want to be? So you don't have to set those very high. As long as your gas limit is reasonable, your transaction could sit there for like 4 hours, not processed, because you don't care. It just needs to be there before next week, right?
Yeah. As long as you don't have other transactions to make, because this will hold up your queue. So
that is true. Yeah.
You don't want to like you don't want to do this right before,
because it'll never process. But you could do it at like 50 instead of 70 or whatever, right? And you'll save yourself some money. So.
And don't do it right before there's like a land sale or some big minting event that you want to participate in, because you're going to be sitting there like trying to cancel your transaction that's been pending for 12 hours while the other event is getting sold out. So yes, Sunday's really the best. Yeah, that's why I sent all the Wizzy the Blues out last night, because all of them sent for like $12 instead of 40. Makes a big difference.
Wolf asks the question, how long will it stay there before it will drop? Like, once again, if you're sending it to yourself and you don't have other transactions to process, it doesn't drop. So when you're purchasing land in the land sales, the only reason why it kind of drops is because on our side, on the website at sandbox.game, there's a 1 hour timer before another person could click it and try to start the ETH transaction. When somebody buys land, they're creating the land on the blockchain for the first time. Whereas when you're sending it to yourself, you have an object that's already created, going to an account that already exists. There's no reason to rush it. The only thing to know is that, as Alex said, that transaction will sit there pending forever if you don't have it at least a reasonable enough gas fee to eventually process. So that's why I would recommend 50 Gwei. You might be able to get away with 40, where it would process at like 3 a.m. my local time, possibly, you know what I mean, when no events are happening anywhere around the world. But in that time, until it actually processes, you can't do anything else. You can't make other blockchain transactions. So, it's totally up to you. But Swad Sam says if it gets stuck, you saw on Alex's screen there for just a second. If you go back on this video on YouTube later, you can see the thing that says nonce. That represents like what transaction number you are on, and you can manually change that number. So if you're on like your 100th transaction ever, you'll see the nonce says number 100. And so you can say, I want to make a new transaction, send money to yourself, send no actual money to yourself, and only pay the gas fee for sending ETH, and set the nonce to the exact same or the exact same number. So you'll replace transaction 100 with nothing at all. That'll process on chain. It cancels your old transaction for you. So that's an option for you. But again, if you process it with a reasonable amount of gas, you can always just lower it just a little bit, not a ton. And then you'll see a transaction come by, you save a little money because you don't care if it processes right now or in 3 hours, right? So lots of different possibilities. Shoot hot shot.
I don't know why it's called nonce. Like I'd call it a check number. Like that's basically what it is. It's like a check number for a bank account.
That's true.
And if you ever like accidentally, this was a mistake that I made a couple times during a land sale. I was using a lower nonce of a transaction that I had already made, and it's like you can't use that nonce.
I can tell you why. Apparently, this is an adjective, and I didn't know this was a real word. I thought it was made up. It says of a word or expression coined for or used on one occasion. A nonce usage from the Oxford English Dictionary.
Number, is it short for number once?
I mean, yeah, I suppose. Or yeah, I would imagine this is how once came about, but nonce is how you pronounce it. Not nonce, but nons. Weird. Maybe
well, that it's just spelled wrong.
Wait. No, I was right. Yeah, nonce is correct. Nonce is correct. My bad.
I can't imagine it being the other way.
But yeah.
So turn on message is angry. Let's see. Call it crab. And
get that angry crab.
I'm trying. So detect avatar.
We get these great questions come in, and I always want to, you want to address them. You want to make sure people get all their questions answered. What do you got?
Okay, I might need a relay in here because it didn't seem to send the first time, but let's try it one more time. So we've got it's trying.
Oh, he's trying.
He's trying.
So Alex, while you were out, I told the community here, but I had to go rebuy that Wizzy the Golden because now this Wizzy the Orange makes me think like, man, if I don't have every color of the rainbow, I've done something wrong. Be a bad friend if I didn't own every single color of this character.
Come on, lay it on me. No, okay, all right. So let's go. Let's make this relay real quick here. So sometimes messages sent from certain behaviors don't actually send to all. So you want to relay them. So if we say this is a message broadcaster and it receives angry, it's actually going to send out angry also. Don't need that indicator.
I'm angry.
Wait before broadcast. It's going to wait for angry. So it's just relaying that angry message specifically to specific tags in range, and the tag being crab. And I think that should do the trick. Let's see.
Alex, I want
It works
to
now.
ask you a question you can't answer while you're doing that.
Okay.
When merch?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. We signed up to get some merch for staff, and I haven't gotten it yet, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
I mean, we have there have been like I've seen T-shirts been handed. Actually, it might be on the way to me, but coming from Europe, it might be stuck in customs. I don't know. I have seen some people with like Sandbox hoodies and stuff like that. Okay, I don't know why this crab isn't attacking me. I don't know what its deal is. It's a little too passive for my liking. Let's see.
Andy
What's
Ritchie
up with
says
this?
they have 3 Sandbox stickers left from EGX.
I want a Sandbox. Is it the holographic one? I asked for one of those to be sent to me like over a year ago.
It's never gonna happen, Alec.
I had like a special Sandbox only notebook I was gonna put it on.
Sorry. I had a laugh the other day because I was thinking about this. Seb has been kind of hopping around recently, taking photos, going out to dinners, having nice meetings with folks like Andy Ritchie in the UK, going back to France, doing some things. And I was thinking, like, it'd be really funny if he went to the US to go meet up with all that staff. And it's just like him and Alex sitting in a room. You know what I mean?
We have
we have
we
I know
have
that
a
there's
few
more than just
more.
the 2 of you, but unless the other ones come from the West Coast and fly to like New York and you all meet there.
Well, Nick is in Mountain Time, and I think we've hired a couple more people that are more like behind the scenes, and I think we just got a narrative designer who's on the East Coast also.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I've never met anybody from the Sandbox in real life.
There it is.
Not one.
It's okay, Alex. We have a special connection halfway around the world.
There we go.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're good.
So I don't know why this isn't. I don't know why this isn't working. Maybe it just doesn't work. I'm trying to like. Can we see the pad? Okay. Yeah, you see it there. So we know that it's around. I get the attack message. So it should. You should be able to damage us now. Why can't you damage us? So there are different things that we could do. Like we could have, you could just start broadcasting damage for certain things. There's like workarounds that involve more complicated setups of like sensors and message broadcasters and like proximity stuff to like deal damage. I like the idea of them just being friendly. I'm okay with that.
That's true. That's true. Just maybe this is a challenge that we could leave for the community if you're out there and you're thinking about making a game for Halloween and you want people to play that, or for an upcoming game jam. I don't know. Maybe you can put that in your game jam game and have you're like, oh yeah, my pet, you guys are super cool and awesome, and then all of a sudden it's like swarm of pet.
Another possibility is to, if we made this number pad a spawner for enemies, you could spawn another crab and delete out this crab.
Yeah.
So if you made a parent to that crab, doesn't matter where in the world it is, could be hidden underground, but it's a parent of the crab, and then this child of the crab, this numpad switch child of the crab would sounds like a weird movie, Child of the Crab. So this numpad switch here that's attached to the crab would spawn a crab in this location, and then like half a second later have the parent of the crab delete the crab. Then that spawned crab would be like the hostile one, and it could do something like that. Obviously there could be problems doing that also, because I'm having problems here getting this one to work, but who knows? There's nuances to it, but I have a feeling a way could be figured out, because I did figure out similar things here. Are we ready to go for another hour here? What is it, 4? We've been going for 2 hours.
Alex, I'm not sure if I'm ready to go for another hour personally. You know what I mean? Like Brittany has been locked away in the bedroom for like. I was like, hey, by the way, I'm going back to the Sandbox today, and she was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just set everything up, and I'm gonna go live stream right now. And then she's like, what? Because we decided this like 2 days ago, and we're very busy with work and stuff.
Oh no.
We get home. I leave at like 7 a.m. and don't get home until probably like 7 p.m. depending on what day it is. So
Okay.
it's normal. But I have a question for you, Alex. Did you,
That's it.
Lozen said in the chat, we have a printing company. And was it you who responded with, I am a printing company?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
That's well, my first job out of college was working at a print shop, and
Very good.
And since then, until I worked at the Sandbox, I was doing print design projects. And yeah, I still have some not I don't have professional printing equipment, but I
Sure.
still have my accounts and contacts with like vendors to I can go and get wholesale printing because I know how.
There we go.
So, like you would be paying like say like $30 for a nice a decent T-shirt from I don't know, some like Teespring or something, company like that, but I could get pricing on like $10 shirts of the same quality, but I would have to buy them like 100 at a time, something like that. So I have the connections, but
Sure.
anyway, so
All right.
for those of you who haven't seen this yet, this is the game that I put together to promote the sale. It actually needs a little update because some of the items here have sold out, and I put a notice on them for like you can't quite see it, but way up there.
Thursday
Yeah.
and Tuesday, yeah.
So for the one in the next zone, he's all sold out. So it actually says that up over there. If we could go get to him, I'm gonna put on my special equipment. So pro tip for the speedrunners: if you have more equipment, you can get through faster. Just FYI.
Hacker man.
Exactly.
Literally, you're hacking and slashing.
Obviously
Very
I'm not going very fast right now, but if we get up here, whoop, you can see sold out. So there have been some other items that have sold out, so I'll be updating this later today. That wasn't it. Oh, nope. He hit me.
I'm the real one.
Well, they all die when you kill him. So
okay.
So we're just going through real quickly. We showed this on last stream, so
Yeah.
you're getting all the
Mm-hmm.
the speed looks here. So we got this.
And this is the speedrun challenge level, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on the featured is one of the featured games on the drafts gallery right now, and I just wanted to show you why you want to be in version. He was moonwalking. I don't know why he was moonwalking. This is why you want to be on 6.12. I don't know if Joseph can hear my computer at all. Probably not, because he'd be getting an echo of himself.
Oh wait, no, I hear I only hear the Sandbox game maker. I wasn't paying attention. I had that in the background while I was dancing on your head and everybody was jumping around.
So with 0.6.12 we got some new music. So you get this nice hip hop beat.
I saw that there
for the boss fight,
dubstep and that sort of thing. Like you got all sorts of options in there.
Yes. So the dubstep was part of the original release, and then I very quickly updated a couple versions and got to 1.3. I'm so used to saying 0 as the first version number. I did like rapid succession over like a couple hours, version 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 as like issues came up.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Did I break it? I'm gonna laugh if I broke it. I might. Oh no, it's because I didn't. It's because I went to the wrong altar.
Oh, there you go.
This is it.
You had to pick an alternative option.
Oh no, Andy Ritchie's internet died.
Oh no!
So we've got the sinking body here. So this is kind of what I mean about having a parent on the enemy, because you can do things to manipulate the enemy even after they've died. So he just kind of sinks down.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is one of the ones that's sold out, so I have to change that. A couple little updates. Oh, I didn't pick up all the equipment. So yeah, we can't get past him. Although he's the only killable ghost in the game, so we can just bypass the bouncer. You can murder the bouncer if you want.
Oh my goodness, Alex. But he was so nice. He was just like, partying, dude. Beautiful time. Beautiful time. You're hanging out. You're on the dance floor, dancing it up. All
right. So let's go over some stuff real quick.
All right.
Unless, I don't know, do people want a tutorial right now? Like, we've been going for 2 hours now. So I was going to show off like how we did some of these mechanics, but we don't have to do that today.
Alex, did you end up saving the band before it was sold?
Yes. No, so I'm the one who pitched the idea for this Halloween sale. This is my baby.
Sure, okay.
So I had the idea of doing this game before the sale was even determined. So when we picked the assets for the sale, I went and added them all to my inventory right away. And it didn't work on one of them because Gato, who made the altar, which is very important in the boss fight, he had to re-upload it. So he pulled it back to iterating and re-uploaded, which kicked it out of my inventory.
Yeah.
And so I went to go make the game, and it's like, you don't have the altar. And I'm like, no. So he graciously gifted me one before the sale started, and I went and bought like 5 after the sale started anyway. But yeah, it was donated by him, so I had the NFT in my wallet so I could continue making the game.
Sure. Very cool.
I need to link up with you guys. Wait, what? Stoked on building in a sandbox. I'm working on a game, about to apply for the Game Maker Fund. Oh, great. Yep, we've got lots of exciting stuff happening in the Game Maker Fund. I was sort of involved in the Game Maker Fund when it started, and since then I've been so busy with partner projects that I'm not fully in tune with what the Game Maker Fund is doing. I know they're doing some amazing things over there, and I can't wait to play those games. I'm so excited for them. So we won't do a full tutorial today because this stream is going very, very long. We're just happy to have Joseph back and to be minting, doing Wizzy the Orange. You know, that's
such a good announcement, Alex. I'm super excited. If you missed the news about Wizzy the Orange, you can of course go over to youtube.com right after this live stream. Just press play. Talk about it for like 45 minutes straight. Just so much stuff, so many announcements.
And yeah, we literally spent the first 40 minutes of this stream talking about announcements for giveaways because we're doing so many different things for this.
You get free stuff.
Everybody.
Oh, so good. So good.
So real quickly, I'll go over like some parts that we will cover in a future stream of just what to look forwards to if you're interested in learning how to do these things. We have got an enemy that actually we'll do it through the play instead of giving away like what the mechanics are. So we've got quests. We have quests that start right at the beginning of the game and immediately asks you a question. When you answer the question, it either lets you play through the quest or it completes the quest for you. So I could say this is my first time playing, and it lets me go read the tutorials outside and beats the quest, or I can say I know what I'm doing, and the quest is immediately finished. That is one fun little tidbit. We've got this quest of picking up equipment. I mean, that one's not so hard. That one's pretty intuitive. Picking up equipment to beat an overall quest. This is like the main plotline quest, Mr. Pumpkinhead here. We can go and read those tutorials. That's easy peasy. But then we come over here, and Scarecrow Jim is worried that we're going to attack him. So get on our pirate costume here. And when we start attacking him, he shouts every time we hit him. And we could actually we can make that have a noise. We could do all sorts of stuff with that. But he doesn't ever actually die, even though we keep giving him damage. He's got infinite health. So I can show you how to make a punching bag like that, which you could use for other reasons too. We have got a quest right here where there's nothing here. And when we talk to this guy, it spawns these items, which then 2 of them will damage us, and 1 of them spawns the equipment we need for the quest and also opens the next door. You can also go back here and use this item to heal fully.
Yeah, Jaswolf, that's a very good question.
What's that?
Are
we going to have another Christmas Wizzy
right
here?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, but
Correct.
also
yes.
But also yes.
It's not another.
Yes, last year when we did the Christmas Wizzy giveaway, that was given away to everybody who was watching the live stream. That's a year ago. During this year, what we're going to do is we reserved 10 of those Wizzy, the Santa Wizzies specifically.
Right.
We'll be doing a charity auction with those, where the proceeds from the sale of the Santa Wizzies go directly to charity. And we had this idea way back then because we wanted to make sure that we can give back in any way that we can, whenever we can. So I have those reserved. They're sitting in my wallet right now. And then later we'll get those sales, send that money off to Children's Hospital or something like that. But we'll see what we agree. We haven't hammered out the details between Alex and myself about that, but that will be done this year. So we'll have that. And possibly something else. We'll see how things develop. It's definitely not going to be an elf Wizzy. It's not. I can confirm. Alex does not have time for that right
now. Probably, yeah. Not. That's not in the consideration right now. But we're going to do something fun.
I have an idea.
That's my ADHD brain is like always like ideas, and then I go, "Hey Seb, I have idea," and he's like, "Go do it," and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
That's
time for that idea. No, but also Alex has ideas all the
time. So then we've also got so we had the next quest was all those enemies, with only one of them being the alpha that destroys all the rest when you beat him. That one's pretty easy to set up. Sure. You just need a message sent on death from the enemy, and then all the other enemies have an instant kill message that is the same as that enemy's message sent on death. So he dies, sends out a message, all the other enemies die. What we also had, though, was each time one of those wrong enemies dies, it sends out the creepy sound that we have in the game. So like when we open up the wrong coffins, it sends out that doo-doo-doo sound. Same thing happens when these guys die. So that was a little more complicated to set up. Not super complicated. It's just some messages, but using music. And then we've got these. These are a lot of fun. I wasn't sure this was going to work with the asset, and then when we figured out it did work, I was so happy. So you examine, and it immediately spawns in its place the enemy. So what we've got is an animated decoration. Actually, no. These might not even have a behavior on them. We'll have to see as we go through the breakdown of each section. But what they have, though, is health, and then they drop loot of the enemy's behavior. So when you kill them, they drop the same asset, but with the behavior of being an enemy.
Rabiel asks a question over on YouTube really quickly.
Mhm.
Where can I download and play this game? You can go to sandbox.game, and in the button that says create, you can download the game maker client, and there is a gallery that Alex has opened. Inside the gallery, there are many games that users have made already. Some of them those are featured, like the game Alex is playing right now.
What is all the S's
And
in the
otherwise,
chat?
I don't know. There's a lot of S's in the chat.
What is that?
A lot of S's. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was me. You know what? Let me contribute to those S's in the chat just because it's hilarious.
Wait, did you say S a whole bunch? What? I don't know what's going on.
Sammy the Snake apparently rated, and that's all good.
Oh.
Hey, guess what, guys? What if I told you I got a cooler S?
Oh, that's why. They're all
What's
hissing
up?
like snakes.
What's
Very
up?
nice.
I got a better S.
Hello, everybody.
First time chat.
Very cool.
You were the DNA. Welcome to the chat. The DNA.
It's a raid.
It's a raid.
Nice. I don't know that. Have we ever been raided before? I don't know.
I don't think we've ever been.
Usually, we've raided out to a few people before, but I don't know that we've ever had anybody jump in. I'm like, what the heck is going on? All right. So yeah, once you're on sandbox.game, click that create button, click download. Only available for Windows right now. Mac version is coming very soon. I get that question almost every day. Mac version is on its way. It is actively being fixed because it's Unity, so it's like one source code base for both sides, but they have to fix issues from Mac separate from Windows because they'll come up with different issues as they go to deploy. So Mac version is getting brought up to the same level as the Windows version after being left alone for a long time. So what isn't a .io? No, it's the Sandbox game is the whole title.
Yep.
So
yep. And this is for those people who are just joining the chat, a really quick brief breakdown of what the Sandbox game is. It's an entire ecosystem built on a cryptocurrency. So on the blockchain, you can create non-fungible tokens, NFTs, that you can animate with free tools, Vox Edit. You can turn those animations, those 3D voxel-based assets, can be put into the Game Maker tool, which is also free. And you can create games. We had a competition that ended just last Saturday, right, Alex? That's when you did the giveaway. Is that correct?
We do so many competitions. What was that?
You did the game jam, right?
Yes, the game. That was that Saturday.
I think that was last Saturday. I'm pretty sure because I was going to join last Saturday, but then you were like, "Hey, game jam." So regardless,
it might have been Saturday.
Time goes by.
I think you're.
So quickly,
yes, you're right. It was Saturday.
Yep, there we go. Lozen says it was last Saturday. So we gave away as the Sandbox. I think it was like $120,000 worth of crypto. That if you include all the free bonuses, it may have been much more than that. I don't know.
Wait, quick, Matt. Well, okay, we can go to.
Got 5,000 sand, right? And then also awards were given, something like that. Maybe it was 3,000 sand. Seb had said something about that. But anyway,
everybody got 5,000 sand who competed.
There we go. So just counting
like they didn't even have to win.
Yeah,
they just from
and then
competing.
Winners got more than that, right?
Which is like $4,000 each. So
exactly right, and they're just entering this competition, right? So if you're interested in this community, if you're just joining us here, stick around. Of course, we are kind of at the end of the show here, but we also do NFT giveaways each and every week on these shows here. Today we did one for an asset called Wizzy the Blue, which Alex here created about 2 years ago now, something like that, and we have been giving them away slowly.
I think we've been giving them away for 1 year, a little bit more than 1 year. I think it was like September, August of last year. I feel like we started the giveaways for Wizzy, but we created them a little bit earlier because we weren't ready to mint them yet. But so we've got, it was 100,000 sand pool, plus there were about 45 entrants times 5,000 sand each. So it was actually a total prize pool of 325,000 sand.
And sand is 76 cents a piece right now.
So about $250,000
$250,000 was given away last week.
plus
on
land.
this live stream, plus the land, which is its
Yeah.
own half an ETH each. Yep. So regardless, that's a whole lot of money, and you guys can be a part of it. Of course, just come in, hang out, make some games, make some assets. There's all sorts of different kinds of competitions. Sometimes it's just winning NFTs straight up. So I'm very happy to have you guys all here, all those new folks who are joining us, and very excited. This is my first week back in a couple of months, and it is, as Jazzwolf says, crazy. You have a crazy good time here. So nice to have you. All right, Alex, so continue your explanation of speedrun.
So we've got the same thing going on here, that all the other chests die when you select the correct one, but the consideration we have to make, and I just realized those aren't lined up, and I am pitching a fit right now.
Dun, dun.
They're not aligned.
Oh, no.
How did I not notice that before? So the thing is, though, we made it so that way when this dies, an enemy pops up. So with that consideration, we had to make it so that way when these all die, the ones that spawn also die. So we had to like relay with a delay a message that kills all of them.
Sure.
All right, and we pick up the last equipment. Door opens up. And we've also got all those NFT displays, so we can view in Marketplace or view on OpenSea, depending on which way we want to show it. We've got this special effect, which I'm really happy with how it turned out, of the wall blowing up, and get all these fun little physics stones to kick around.
Sure.
This one's pretty much the same as the other one, with just, it's like the same as the skeletons. It's just some enemies to attack. Not too hard. But then we introduce music. Oh, I'm very close to dying.
Not too hard, he says.
So we've got some special formatting on the text using rich text formatting from Unity, along with music starting at the same time. And this was actually one of the first parts that I worked on. So my level designer assistant set up the initial layout of everything, and I was like, okay, I know what I want to do for the boss fight. So I worked all that out first. Took me, I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours to get this working correctly, and then I had to redo it for another 2 hours to get it to work correctly because some things didn't work the way they were supposed to. I'm actually going to turn down the music a little bit because I can't hear myself, and it's difficult to talk at a good volume when you can't hear your own voice.
Yeah, so Kinyo asks, so
I can't change it.
It's similar to actually top-down view game. And Kinyo, this is actually up to you. So inside the Game Maker software, you can make it any way you like. We've seen side-scroller games get designed. We've seen traditional any view you like sort of RPGs that you can see here. There's also options to set your camera in first person. So there's lots of different opportunities for you with the Game Maker, and importantly, you don't need to know how to code video games to make games in the Game Maker. So feel free, check out the tool. It's totally free, and we'll do tutorials here on Saturdays for that. This is just a brief breakdown. We did a little tutorial earlier to show you how to make an asset, another character, into a type of like pet for you, so it could pal around with you if you like. But there's lots of things you could do with the Game Maker, and we've seen extraordinary things be made in the past. Just needs a little bit of practice, little time, and playing around. Have some fun with it.
So Gooders, I can't really turn us up any louder because we're peaking in the yellows on our volume mixer. So if I was to turn up our amplification anymore, we would start clipping out in the red, which would not be friendly to anybody else's ears. So I don't know if it's maybe there's some system settings you have. I don't know what kind of device you're watching on, but you should be able to turn it up a little bit more. But yeah, on our end, we're near the max of what can be supported without it causing issues if one of us starts laughing loudly.
Yes,
So
sure.
yeah, this is all built in Unity. I mean, it's a game engine built in Unity. So Unity is what our developers are using to make the game maker, and then we've got these preset behaviors. Everything in here was made without any coding. Basically, I'm using these objects and combining the different logics available to make these more complicated things. So this quest was actually very complicated to set up because I had a few specific requirements. I wanted the pumpkins to be movable, like have physics, because I didn't want people to be able to stack them up as like stairs to get into other areas. So you can pick them up, you can put them down, you can throw them, but you can't pick them up and then drop them in the air and then be able to jump on top of them. I also wanted the altars to be animated, so they start out dark, like this, and then when you activate an altar, it lights up and says that delicious message. And it consumes a pumpkin, so the pumpkin that you place over it disappears. And it will also not consume another pumpkin. So if you bring a pumpkin to the same altar, it's already full. It's not going to do anything. Sure. So those were all requirements that I had, and that doesn't sound too complicated if you could like code it maybe, but given the behaviors that we have available, it actually turned out to be very complicated to figure out, because I've got, I think, 3 hidden items around each altar that kind of bounce messages back and forth to each other, because the pumpkin has to like broadcast, hey, I'm here. The altar has to say, oh, hey, I see you. I'm going to eat you now. There's multiple stages to it all. And I'm probably going to like get tongue-tied a lot while trying to explain it on the next stream when we look at this, because I'm not going to remember how I figured it out at 3 a.m. And then
Yeah.
and then realized that there was a bug and had to like fix it, and did that again at like 5 a.m. the next day. Like there was just a lot of back and forth on it. But in the end, I haven't been able to break it. I've ran it a whole bunch of times, and even when I like insert the pumpkins in and they go flying up in the sky because of the physics, because they're clipping into the top of the altar, even in those cases, it still seems to work. Oh, the other thing was that players couldn't lose the pumpkins. I mean, if a player goes and carries all the pumpkins out of bounds, if they were to drop all of them in an inaccessible area, it would be possible for them to lose the game, I guess. But they would have to try very hard to get them all into an area like that, and basically they would have to try to mess it up.
Yep.
And there are some considerations I could do for that as well. Like if you carry a pumpkin out of the area, it could despawn, because the pumpkins can actually take damage. That's how they get consumed. Ooh. I dropped it out of the map.
There it is.
I just did it. So
there
yeah, if you
go.
you stick a pumpkin in the wall, it'll fall down to the bottom of the map and get stuck there. So there you go.
So interesting. You know, the
Just found a
interesting thing
bug.
that I think about
Now I
that
can fix it.
as like, and that's the important part, right? Like part of what Alex does on Wednesdays is Alex will go back through and play the games that you create and try to do just that, break the game, right? With all the things that we know, is can your game be broken? And I've seen users back when I was doing that Wednesday stream, you know, they'll design a whole level, and then I go through the level and I just jump onto a wall maybe that they put up on the side, and then they're like, no, don't play like that. And it's like, oh, I'm showing you that your users will play like that, right? So Alex is doing this on Wednesdays, and so maybe that's something that you'd be interested in.
And I do it to my own games, so it's not I'm not trying to like make anybody feel bad about their games. I'm trying to help show where players are going to get tied up and then maybe get frustrated and give up, because I don't get frustrated and I don't give up. I mean, as much as like Clankersh and Touche and others try to make me rage quit. I will poke at the same thing for like 2 hours before I finally give up at it.
Yeah.
So So anyway, I found a bug because I hadn't tried sticking a pumpkin to the wall before. I had forgotten about doing that. You can see it fall down to the bottom of the map there. It's just gonna roll around at the bottom. So what I would do there is I would make a void area that the pumpkins could hit. Maybe some damaging, give them some block damage. Make a lava pit at the bottom where they'll get damaged, because these pumpkins, when they get killed, they respawn, which is why it becomes hard for the player to accidentally lose all the pumpkins, because they will tend to get damaged and come back.
Sure.
And yeah, you can see we've got 2 out of 3 of the altars. We can run past our very aggressive. He does hit very hard. Get it to the last one. Got to drop it, actually. Sets off the last one. Music changes. So we use a music interrupt to end the current music. This guy dies, starts sinking down to the bottom. I had a whole bunch of requirements for how I wanted the boss to play out that made it feel like a real boss fight, and it took a lot of work, but eventually I got it with 0 compromises for what my plans was, so I was very happy about that. Then we get our last area in here, and we've got a question that gives us some different options. So we can end the game in victory, we can dance some more, or we can show the undead auction, which, as you know, already was won by Clankers.
That's right. Kenyo, I'm going to answer your question here about VR really quickly. It's important to understand that VR will not work in the conventional sense, because when you're in first person, you're still only seeing one viewpoint, right? So traditionally, VR has a dual viewpoint situation going on with a little bit of like bubbling, right? So you put on the headset, you've got 2 screens. So it's not designed to do that. It's designed to do first person. Now, that said, where you ask, would it be resource heavy or not because the engine is on the chain, it's also important to understand the engine is not on chain. The code that is on the back end that you are making without having to know how to code, that's the part that gets saved on the blockchain when the metaverse goes live, right? And the metaverse isn't up currently, but just so you know, all of your code portions are still going to happen on a local end, right? A user will access the blockchain to see the game. The game is unique. The code is all saved on chain, meaning you could potentially design a whole game, save it on chain, and sell the game, the whole design, to somebody who, and switch who's the publisher essentially, right? So there's lots of different things to consider, but all of those, the processing still happens locally. So you're not taxing the blockchain with every single action you take in this game. You're just making the request. And the code is coming out. So whenever somebody wants to change the code, they'll change what's going on the block. All right.
It's all right, Clankers. I'll survive. I'll be okay.
I was going to win that no matter what. I love it, and I have plans to use it in the future. Very good. Very good. Is this going to give regular NFTs possibly real use case? Yes. Yes. Without a doubt, absolutely. You can see if you go to the map at Sandbox Tech Game, the number of partners that Sandbox has that are other NFT projects. It's a lot. From the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, the Cyberkongs, we've got, Deadmau5, Snoop Dogg, right? There's all sorts of different partners with different interests in the Sandbox. And so you'll see those, like Cyberkong specifically. If you owned a Cyberkongs and you want to play in the Sandbox, you're getting a Cyberkongs VX, which is a voxel version of the Cyberkongs, right? And I believe that's already been released, but I know Alex has to do a lot of work to get that done, but just there's so much going on, right? And so you have lots of opportunity, but again, there's so much more to come. The Walking Dead sale just recently had happened in a 4 weeks wave sale. There's so many partners, and
we're starting the Walking Dead game jam, so that's going to add more interest in those NFTs. I'm not sure if I think we might be releasing more associated with that sale to let people build more stuff, but yeah. As far as the avatar stuff goes and like Cyberkongs, what we're working towards is kind of 2 systems. One is our avatar version 0, which is potentially something that the plan with that is something that we could eventually burn to go to avatar version 1 or 2 or 3, what have you. So all the features of the avatar will be temporarily locked into version 0. And then if we come out with new animation, I mean, we will come out with new animations, new abilities. People will be able to burn their old avatars to collect a new version of it. And because that's going to be on Polygon, we're not going to have to worry about big gas fees associated with that. The other branch is the NFT interoperability bridge, which is such a mouthful to say every time. It's more painful to type it in emails, which I have to do on a daily basis. I'm just like, can we just call it like iBridge or something like that? And that is the dashboard is going to be able to read what's in your wallet and see if there is a avatar available to you from what you have. So if you have a Voxadeus or a Vogu or a Cyberkong or a Bored Ape. Bored Ape is the first one that we're working on as far as an interoperability bridge. We're working on it in-house. So if you own a Bored Ape, it will your wallet being connected to the Sandbox dashboard will recognize that and let you select any of the Bored Apes that you own as your playable avatar in the social hubs, in other games. Like you in this Halloween game, you would be able to play as a Bored Ape because it's using your dashboard avatar. So that's not something that is complete and ready yet, but it's what we've been working towards for a long time now, and we're planning on making these tools available to any project. So there's way too many projects for us to support with our staff of doing it all in-house like we're doing with Bored Apes. We're just using that as like a use case of something that's very big and will get people's attention. But I know like Gutter Cats and Cyberkongs VX have been working on their own artwork for that. And then any other project could pick this up, like Doodles or whatever. If they wanted to make their own, they could do that. Once we have the tools and the documentation out. So it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, and so Nick, I'm going to answer two questions at once. Jigmon123 says, when can we make multiplayer games? So multiplayer engine changes are already being and have been in development for some time, but it requires a lot of changes to the engine, right? You have to, this person takes an action, that interaction hits you, but maybe you're not standing where you were before, so you're now over here. Maybe you interact with an object, as Alex mentioned earlier, with like the pumpkins when Alex was kicking them, and it hits another person, and there's a physics collision there. How do we interpret that collision? How does that change? All that sort of stuff is being addressed with the multiplayer interaction update, and that's critical for making games. The last I knew, there was an estimate of 6 to 9 months to finish that portion of the engine change, and that was a little while ago. So we'll see where that is. No solid deadlines on that. And then Nick Gilbert asks, any timeline for the population of the southern part of the map? And based on the rollout currently of land, all land will be distributed either by the end of next year or the very early part of 2023. So the land is just slowly being kind of rolled out like that, with the interest of folks being able to all play. And then Jiga, will the game run off of a client or the website? It will have a dedicated client.
Yeah, there's no way that we could run this through a browser. I know like some Unity games can be run through browser, but the amount of geometry and effects and capabilities of the enemies and the behaviors and the size of the worlds that we can do with just a 4x4, which is close to 400 by 400 meters, or like 16 times the size of this space, is just not browser friendly at all.
Right.
So it definitely needs a dedicated client for that, for the kind of optimizations we need. And but we do plan on having Not just the Windows client, the Mac client should be coming out very, very soon as well. And we are also working towards getting working mobile clients, and then eventually also consoles. I believe it was running successfully, at least at some point. May not be currently working on the Atari VCS. That is another planned one that we are going to be supporting, because Atari is a partner of ours, so we definitely want to keep them on board. All right, so I think land is being consumed by weird creatures from the planet Earth. What are you talking about, Clankers? What's going on there?
All over it. All right. Well,
So I think it is time for us to go, but keep an eye out. There are going to be some updates to this hub over the week. I may hide some things, so I don't know. Just check it out every once in a while. Nothing yet. I'd say probably by Wednesday's stream we might have something hidden in there, and maybe we'll do something with that. And then we've got all the stuff happening Saturday with the Wizzy, the orange giveaway. We've got so many different ways to participate with that, and I am going to be releasing a video later tonight, so make sure to follow the Sandbox game on Twitter, because they will retweet it, but you can also follow me. So I'm at Kamisazi. Joseph is at the Vision EX, and the Sandbox is the Sandbox game. Go follow those Twitter accounts. You will be able to see when I drop that video with all the information on how to get Wizzy the Orange. And I'll see you Wednesday. Joseph, I'll see you next Saturday.
Absolutely. See you guys later. Bye-bye.